And we are live. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another live stream here on the Film Stock channel. I mean, the craziest live stream I've maybe ever done. It is the day. It is Wednesday, November 26th, 3 p.m. Eastern. And I'm so nervous already, guys. I'm anxious. I'm excited. We've reached the day. It's taken about 3.5 years. And we finally reached the day. The first 4 episodes of Stranger Things Season 5 premiere tonight. Volume 1, 8 p.m. Eastern. I have a lot of thoughts. We're finally here, though, and that's the most important thing. And as always, I've got a handy-dandy water with me because I need my water breaks throughout these streams. Glorious. Never get sick of them. We're here, though, and we got about 5 hours until Season 5 premieres. And so I figured what better way to kill the time than to hop on a live stream, hang out, chat, talk final predictions, talk final theories, and just hang out. I also have some trivia. Last time on the stream, when I did a big Stranger Things sort of event stream, it was on Stranger Things Day. And I did some trivia, but I didn't have anything prepared. Well, this time I brought something with me. I took your advice, and I went with Book It, I believe is what it's called. I have like a 30-question trivia game at some point today. We'll get into that, and I think you guys can actually join. I host it, you guys join, and I ask questions. It'll be a fun time. And I also have a Gatorade, because why not? Cam will probably be come and go throughout the stream, and we'll be here for a while, potentially 5 hours. We're just going to see how we go. 5 hours is a long time to be live, but we'll see what's up. We'll see what's up. There's 700 people in here right now, so welcome, everybody. Good to see you here. Of course, fire off your questions, fire off your theories, fire off your predictions. I will get to as many of them as I can. But seeing as the chat's moving so fast already for me, there's no way I'm going to be able to answer everything, get to every question. And yeah, I'm just we're going to get down to business. So Super Chat's the way to go to guarantee I get to your question, comment, concern, and hit that like button. It helps out tremendously. I also have 2 mods. Shout out Starcourt, shout out Jay Hayes. And please, please, please be respectful in the chat. Again, I'm going to get to as much as I can, but don't, go overboard with the spam. And if you spoil anything, you'll be blocked. So don't spoil anything. And without further ado, let's just get down to it. By the way, come on now. Film stocked merch. I love it. I'm opening the Gatorade because we just started. Why not? Gatorade Zero, Glacier Freeze. Delightful. Absolutely delightful. All right. We're staying hydrated today. It's going to be a late night. We already have a bunch of super chats. I saw Michael was in here like at 9:40 in the morning. Sent in a super chat. So we'll kickstart the stream with that. Why not? Shout out Michael. Michael says, hey, Chris, Will is my favorite character, but I'm preparing myself that him and or Elle will die sometime in Season 5. In Season 2, Mike says, if the brain dies, the body dies. Thoughts? Yeah, I think, and I did a final death prediction video, you kind of, in my opinion, can flip a coin with one of those two biting the dust. Someone major is dying this season. I strongly believe it's going to be one of those two characters. Eileen 11, I'm of the opinion she's going to be the one to go. I don't want any of them to die, for the record, but I just think she's going to be the one to end up biting the dust. So I lean Elle in this situation, but wouldn't be surprised at all if Will died. Wouldn't be surprised at all. There's very clearly a deep connection between him and Vecna, as evidenced through the first 5 minutes, as evidenced through Will's ability to sense the presence of Vecna and or the Mind Flayer. Something's going down there for sure. And I remember in Season 2, obviously you're right. If the brain dies, the body dies. There's this whole, well, we don't want to kill Will. Well, what if Will has to go in order to fully eradicate this? Could be the case. So I love Will. Will. Yeah, I'm reading back through the question. He's your favorite character. I mean, I'll say this. Maybe don't prepare for him to outright die, but prepare for him to go through the ringer just like he did in the first 2 seasons. I think potentially even worse. It's going to get ugly for him. I think he's going to find a way to live. He's going to fight to live, but be prepared. That's what I'll say. Be prepared for anything. Elizabeth has become a member. Thank you, Elizabeth. Preston with Super Chat says it's me, Preston, the concert. Oh, yes, at the Joe concert. Thank you for saying hello. It was a pleasure to meet you. Appreciate that. Let's see. Another Super Chat here says, thank you for being my soundtrack every day for the past 6 months leading up to this moment. Every day at work. God bless you. Well, God bless you for showing support for 6 months and following along in the journey. It's been a hell of a journey, honestly. I look back on it, like the lead up to Season 5, right? It started forever ago on the channel. I mean, that was, what was it, May of 2022? I feel like I've changed so much since then. So much has happened in my life since then. And it's been like a 3.5-year journey. So a lot of guys have been around for the duration of that since I covered season 4. And so thank you for sticking around. I get a lot of comments like this or messages saying, I've watched in season 4, and it's just been a wild journey, truly. And now that we're here, and I've said this all along, I was like, when we get there, whenever we get to season 5, we'll look back and say it wasn't that long, but in the moment it feels like forever. That's exactly what the case ended up being. So thank you for listening. And I'll be yapping, talking about Stranger Things, obviously, for the rest of this year, all through January. Forever I'm going to talk about it, but the channel's not going anywhere when Stranger Things is over. It was around before Stranger Things. It'll be around after Stranger Things. But it's been an awesome time covering it. Already getting the water breaks in early. We're staying hydrated. I'm not kidding. I'm not playing around about hydration today. We got a super chat here that says, happy release day, Chris. Love your channel. I'm currently sat in a hotel room in the UK with a glass of bubbly to celebrate. Well, cheers. Purposely booked to enjoy Stranger Things with room service and snacks. Roll on 1 p.m. Yeah, sounds like the way to go, honestly. It should be fun. I have multiple mutuals who are in Europe. A buddy of mine, Ollie, who I did a collab with recently. You guys should check it out. Stranger Things Bold Predictions if you haven't. He's in Europe. And I think he told me that the episodes, they drop at 1 a.m., I want to say, where he is. And you know what? To that I say, been there, done that. I know all of my the subscribers or people who have messaged me like, oh, it drops at this time for me. I'm like, I'm just used to it dropping at 3 a.m. for me. I think that's the worst time out of every hour of the day to drop a show, because it's like, it's too early to go to sleep the night before and wake up and be like, yep, I'm up and at 'em at 3 a.m. But it's like, it's way too late in the night to stay up. And so 3 a.m. was just the worst. And that's what we got forever. With like a bunch of the Disney Plus shows, it was 3 a.m. for like Marvel back in the day, like WandaVision, Falcon and Winter Soldier. It was always 3 a.m. And with Stranger Things last time around, it was just always 3 a.m. Well, now it being 8 p.m., it's a really nice change of pace. Like I'm going to be able to watch all the episodes, finish around 12:30, which is nothing for me. I'm usually up till midnight anyway. And then stay up a few more hours doing some work, get a little bit of sleep, and then literally all day tomorrow, I'm just doing Stranger Things content. I'm not messing around. So, that sounds like a great way to celebrate. We made it, and I know a lot of you guys are going to be celebrating as well. But no, it sounds like a great day. Great day. Elizabeth, thank you for becoming a member. Max predictions, is Vecna stronger now? ? Max predictions, I'm pretty steadfast with this. I made a final predictions video yesterday, and I'm sticking with it. Oh shoot, my buddy Jacob Starcourt just texted me. He said the official soundtrack is on pre-order now to get the vinyl for season 5. Ooh wee, that's hype. That is hype. Can't wait to see what songs are on there. But my predictions for Max, and I'm pretty steadfast in this, Max will not wake up until, if she wakes up in volume 1, because I think she will wake up, it'll be later, and it'll be Sorcerer or even Ep 5. But the point I want to make is she's going to play a role in volume 1, because you're not going to let Sadie Sink lay in a hospital bed for 4 episodes. That's just a waste. She's way too talented. So to me, she's going to have a plot mentally comparable to what we saw with 11 in season 4 with the Nina Project, where, 11 was reliving these memories via like security tape footage, ultimately leading to the massacre that then, re-sparked her powers. I am of the opinion that we'll see something similar with Max, but it'll be in some sort of void, maybe not the void, maybe some new, mental level of being or consciousness, or potentially in Vecna's mind, in Vecna's mindscape, because this is the quote I've always pulled. And, Cam, my fiance, who I talk a lot of theories with on Stranger Things Rewind, which is a series we did leading up to season 5. We always discuss, like, there's a line, it's I believe Papa Brenner who says this about Henry. He doesn't just kill, he consumes. And when he kills someone, they kind of become a part of him. And so, it would make sense for Max to then be inside, living in Vecna's, mindscape, but hidden. And so that's how she can infiltrate from within. So that's kind of my predictions for Max this season. Is Vecna stronger? Design-wise, that wide shot of him, he looks a little skinnier, but also like maybe more agile. It's weird. I don't know. His power, though, I think he might be coming back stronger. It's hard to say. It is, and we'll find out. By the way, there's so many people in the chat, almost 1,000 people in here already. Thank you guys for being here. Of course, hit that like button. Fire off, your super chat to guarantee I can get your question. But I appreciate you guys for being here. There's a lot of movement here in the chat, and it's good to see. Water break. Can never go wrong with the water break. Again, I won't be able to get to the chat's moving very fast right now on my end. So I'm going to click on as many things as I can. But let's do a little bit. Do a video where you rank all the storylines from all the seasons. Potentially. I got to wait till 7 p.m. for it to come out. Yeah, I mean, I got to wait till 8 where I live, which is, fine. I wish that it dropped in the morning. Call me crazy. I would love it if it dropped at like 9 a.m. I wake up, get ready, watch the episodes, and then I can just think about it, rewatch it all day. But I guess I could stay up all night and do that as well. Our patience has certainly paid off. Yeah, Ross on his Instagram story posted that he posted that Netflix increased their bandwidth to prep for a potential crash. So there's that. I mean, Netflix crashing, not off the table. Usually it does shut down, not shut down, but just in some capacity, it has connection issues for folks just because of the demand. And if you're thinking, well, that happens at 3 a.m. usually in the US or midnight even on the West Coast, what's going to happen when in the US it's 8, 7, 6, more people are going to be tuned in immediately? People are going to be crashing it. It's going to crash. And I'm just prepared for that. It could be difficult to load here in a few hours. Got a lot more super chats rolling in here. This one says, this is the last flagship show of our generation, which is also truly end of an era. I agree. It's the end of an era. Stranger Things, it's the first truly major Netflix show. It's also been around since 2016. And it's become a worldwide phenomenon for a reason, deservingly. And so, it is sad. It's very bittersweet to say goodbye to it. Certainly the end of an era. It's basically a decade long that it's been around. Next year will be 10 years since season 1 premiered. So yeah, I mean, it's special, and I'm cherishing it. I'm cherishing the end of it. Let's see. We got a couple super chats coming in here. Thank you guys. Which death would you be the most devastated by? I think I've said Dustin, and I'm going to stand by that. Now, Steve would hurt, obviously, but Dustin would hurt because I still view Dustin as that lovable kid from season 1. I also think of all of the hardships he's gone through, especially with the loss of Eddie, and he's still trying to process that trauma, and he's still grieving. And to lose that figure in his life and then him go and die, and you see Mike, Steve's reaction, you see Will, Lucas's reaction, Max, Nancy even, it would just really crush my soul to kill this kid who was essentially, told by Eddie, never change. And I view their relationship as very much a mentor-mentee, to the point where in future seasons, in our head, because we're not going to get a season 6, but as time goes by, and if they do an epilogue, Dustin will live on and continue the Hellfire legacy, left behind by Eddie, and hopefully let everyone know Eddie was a hero, and publicly that can be acknowledged. So Dustin would hurt. Dustin would probably be the most devastating to me. A lot of them would devastate me, but that one would probably be the most soul crushing. Ooh, Tess with the super chat says, family here is now 100% convinced none of the main characters die. I actually hope you're right, because I don't want to see any of them die. I think someone will have to pay the price, but I'm more than okay if no one dies, because this has never been a show about just killing off main characters. This is not a Game of Thrones show. Now, someone will die. I think Murray's very much on the chopping block. I don't know how much of a main character you classify Murray as. I think he's a goner. But in terms of like the OG party, Max, 11, someone could go. I want them to live. I want all 6 of the characters I just listed to live, but I think one of them will go. And I just think that's just the price we got to pay. It's someone has to go to prison, Ben. I always say that, and I wonder how many people love National Treasure like myself. And I just quoted, I've made it a thing, but it's true. Someone's got to pay the price. Someone's got to go to prison for the crime. So it sucks. I think Vecna is obviously going to go with said person, but man, brutal. Gatorade Zero Break. That's a new one for you guys. Usually it's Diet Dr. Pepper. I'm saving those for later. I've already had 2 today. So the caffeine, I've got the caffeine energy, but I got to save it for later when I'm watching the episodes now. Get real fired up. I'm filming 4 reactions back to back. I guess there's 4 in there. And I'm probably going to take down this. I'm literally, if I get hyped enough, I'm shooting out of my chair. If you guys want to see what I'm talking about, just go watch my Cobra Kai reactions. I get pretty into it. This super chat says, what are your thoughts on if 8 returns? Me personally, I hate it unless they add purpose to the Lost Sister. I love your content, Chris. Keep up the fantastic work. Well, thank you. I appreciate the support. My thoughts on Callie or 8 returning, pretty simple. I think it's not needed. It's not necessary. It's too big of a risk for too little of a reward. People have accepted The Lost Sister as the black sheep episode, as the outlier episode of the show. It is the lowest rated by fans, the lowest rated by everyone who's ever seen it. It's skippable almost in its entirety. And so to me, let it be that. Let it be known, hey, that was a misstep. It's the one misstep of the show. Let's end on a high note. We don't need to go back and try and fix something from that season. Like, we have bigger fish to fry. So how much time in an 8-episode final season of this epic show do you want to spend trying to right the wrongs of an episode that everyone's kind of at peace with being the worst? We don't have time for that. And to me, it's not even, oh, there's a loose end. When I went back and rewatched The Lost Sister a couple months ago for Stranger Things Rewind on Patreon, I found it to be pretty definitive. And I know people are like, oh, she's still out there. Well, let her be out there. 11's at peace. She had this moment where she was like, I don't want to be like you. And the whole point of that, in my opinion, that interaction with Elle and Callie was Elle to realize, like, oh, I don't want to be like this. It also taught her who she values in her family, Hopper, etc., her friends. She wanted to go back and save them. And use her powers for good, essentially. And so I don't subscribe to the notion that Callie needs to come back, because if you really think about it, Callie and Elle aren't even on the best terms. So why would she show up? It would be out of the blue, in my opinion. So I would hate it. I'm with you. I would hate it. The only, in this, I think a couple people I've talked to recently have subscribed to this notion as well. What if she returns and is killed by Vecna? I think Ollie said it, and I think on the Starcourt podcast as well, it was brought up as like a bold swing that could happen. I'd be okay with that. It would tie that off fully. It would shut down any rumors. The recent, spark uprising and interest and even talking points of, oh, Callie could return. A lot of it stems from the premiere, the actress who plays her was at the premiere. And to that I say, go look at any Marvel movie or any big franchise movie. Oftentimes stars from past or previous entries or seasons, if we're talking television, show up to the premiere to show their support. Doesn't mean they're in the project. So I think I'm out on that. I'm out on this idea of, well, the actress was at the premiere, so she's in it. I just don't think there's enough time to have her return in a satisfying way. We don't need to take that big of a detour to tie a bow on the Lost Sister in the final season. Because here's my final point on Callie, okay? And then I'll move on. Promise. If they were to bring her back, they would have done it by now. They didn't acknowledge her in season 3, briefly acknowledged her in season 4, but it was via flashback, even if you consider that. It was with, Henry and Elle. She's not coming back. She's not coming back, in my opinion. This super chat here says, it still doesn't feel real. I still remember watching your coverage on each Ross Duffer photo dump. I really love your channel. Also, congrats on new merch. Well, thank you. Yeah, the Ross Duffer photo dump Fridays. It was usually on Friday. Legendary. Whenever that man would hit us, I mean, there was some dry spells there in 2024, but when he would hit us with those photo dumps, I still remember where I was when some of them released. I remember once I was driving, I was looking for an apartment, like touring some, and I was headed home, and it was the photo he dropped. I think it was in May or March, and he dropped a photo. It was of Jansy. They were in the back of Steve's car looking, and that was like the cover photo. I was like, oh shit, like I gotta go. It was fun. It was always an event whenever he dropped those, and they really made the time go by fast. Sounds good. There's a Cam cameo. We'll have more later on. Gatorade Zero Break. Delicious stuff. But no, the Ross Duffer photo dumps, man. Electric stuff. Truly electric stuff. Let's see what's going on here in the chat. Again, I'm bouncing back and forth between regular and super chat as much as I can here. Super chat's the way to go to guarantee I get to your question, comment, concern. But yeah, I'm gonna do my best to get to everything here. This is funny. Let's address this. Ted is going to quick drop Vecna. So I posted a death prediction video 2 days ago. I think it was 2 or 3 days ago. And one of my predictions was obviously Ted. I think Ted is not looking too good. We haven't seen much of him, and we know something's going down at the Wheeler house, right? A lot of people were like, Ted, what if Ted stands on business? I was talking again to a friend recently, and they were like, what if Ted actually like defends himself in his house, and it like creates a spark between him and Karen again? And I think that would be quite funny, honestly, just to see him actually do something, because he's just been a couch dweller, snoring on the recliner for so many of the episodes. I think it would be awesome to see him actually defend that house, and I would be all right with that. But we'll see. Am I streaming till 8? Tentatively, yes. I'll say tentatively, yes. I don't know if I'm going to stream right up to 8, but I see no reason to end this party. We're having a good time. I mean, it's very young. We've only been going for 20 minutes now. The stream is young. The night is still young, as they say. But I'm going to stream for a while, for sure. A while. We'll keep it going. I have some trivia. We'll get into that later, though. Delicious. Delicious Gatorade. I'm getting married. That is correct. I'm getting married next year. Yeah, I am. All right. I'm doing well. Thank you for being here. And again, there were so many initial influx of questions that I wasn't able to see them all. And I apologize for that. I just, the chat moves. It moves. By the way, film stock merch, that's how I'm doing right now as well. It's out now. You can get it. It's from Firefly Shop. It's incredible quality. And she crushed it with the design. And this is the sweater, the crew neck. There's a t-shirt version of it as well. I'm not ready for Stranger Things season 5. I mean, I'm anxious. I'm nerved up. I'm ready to roll at the same time, though. Like, it's been so long. I just want to sit down and watch it. The super chat here from X-Man says, I'm so ready and excited. Something tells me Netflix will crash tonight. Yeah, kind of hinting at that earlier with the expanded bandwidth for Netflix. Apparently, Ross Duffer said that was the case. I fully expect it to have an influx around 7:55 p.m. Eastern, so about 5 minutes before. And then for the first 10 or so minutes after the episodes drop, it could be laggy. My goal is just to get in there and get the first episode rolling. That's the goal. Which, by the way, we've all seen the first 5 minutes. And will you be watching those first 5 minutes again or skipping? I'm obviously going to watch them again because I think it's just going to be cool to watch them with the context of the rest of the episode. But those first 5 minutes, too, I'll be like, it'll be like a tease because we've already seen it. So we'll be like, okay, hitting play on episode 1, but we've already seen the first 5 minutes. And so I'll be like, all right, come on. Like, I'll be excited to rewatch it, but I'll be like, I got to see what's next. Like, predictions. What are your all's predictions for the first thing we see after, we get the Stranger Things 5 logo and then chapter 1, the crawl, and it's coming at the screen? What's the first thing we see after that? That's what I want to know. I got to know. But hey, thank you so much for the super chat. This one here says, would love to see Billy coming back, underrated. I think we kind of put an end to that with Dear Billy, in my opinion. I think that was the last time we're going to see Dacre in the role. Again, anything is possible. But I'm leaning Billy being a no-show in this final season, unless it's archival footage, right? So it's repurposed shots we've already seen. That could be the case. But I think, to me, I'm of the opinion that Billy's time in the show is no more. But we'll see. Tess forgot to say we bought everyone merch to wear on our trip. Well, hooray to that. Thank you guys for the support. Yeah, the merch is it's linked in the description. Thank you for the support. If you want to send a picture, I'll feature it in a video or something, or put it on my Instagram story. So be sure to do that. But what are my thoughts on a Vecna redemption arc a la Return of the Jedi? See, this is something that came up recently as well with a buddy of mine. I think it was in that Bold Predictions video. It might have made the final. I don't remember. But what if there is a Vader-esque redemption moment where Vecna dies, but in the process, he takes out the Mind Flayer? I wouldn't hate it. But it would have to be earned. And I think in order to solve that or get around that, they would have to further canonize some of the lore that's expanded upon in the first Shadow play and bring it to the show so that all of the audiences can see it and marinate with it and sit with it. I think there's a route where it works. If you subscribe to the idea of, the Mind Flayer having corrupted Vecna, luring him to the dark side, essentially, very Anakin Skywalker to get real Star Wars with it. I kind of see the comparisons, the parallels. So I can see it. I don't know if I want it necessarily, because I do think there's something to be said about just having a character be evil and die evil. But redemption, it's on the table. I wouldn't hate it. I genuinely wouldn't. I trust the Duffers to write this, to see their vision out. And if that's the way they want to go, so be it. Because I could see that happening. So I wouldn't be like upset about it. It wouldn't be like, what the hell? No, it wouldn't ruin the show for me. If they take time to let the audience understand why he made that turn. So we'll see. We got a super chat here. You got a question for me? Let me know. Shout out Matt for stopping in here. Get some of Matt's candles. They're awesome. Matt's got a candle business in I have the Dusty Bun candle, and it smells awesome. I need to get another one because I burned through that candle so fast. This says, I'm visiting my parents for Thanksgiving. I'm not going to be able to watch season 5 until Friday, so I'm deleting all my apps and sending messages by Owl. Smart move. If you can't watch the episodes tonight, do not go on social media. And furthermore, do not allow notifications for Twitter, for TikTok, for YouTube. Do not open YouTube. Do not open TikTok. Do not open Twitter. Don't go on Instagram. Do not go on social media until you have seen every single episode, because within an hour of them being out, there will be screenshots, there will be posts, there will be reaction videos. Do not mess around. If you want to avoid spoilers, definitely stay off the grid. So smart move, man. Smart move. Elizabeth says, Tales from 85 thoughts. Will it be totally tubular? I hope. I'm excited by the concept. I think the animation style is really cool. My fear is it could not contradict, but muddy the waters a little bit on some of the canon. And I don't want them to fill in too many of the gaps between the seasons, because I don't want them to lessen or take away from any of the moments of the show that we already know and love. So we'll see. I wonder, I'd be almost okay with it if it was like acknowledging this is not canon. These are just fun little adventures in Hawkins. I think I could get on board with it more. Or if it went like the what if route, where it was like, this is an alt reality or something along those lines. But we'll see how it ends up functioning in the show. Thank you for the super chat. Rust says, do you prefer Stancy or Jansy? I can't wait 5 hours. Yeah. Well, only about 4.5 to go now. So think about it that way, right? Look, I have given, what's the word? I think there's a route at any point in time in the show. Both of these have been viable end game options. As it stands right now, and having just finished a rewatch, I'm pretty like 99% sure that they're leaning Jansy, and that's probably the way to go. But if you want my honest answer, it's neither. It's neither, and I'll tell you why. I think Nancy, unless her and Jonathan have worked a couple things out from the end of season 4, I think Nancy being independent at this time in her life, going, maybe even leaving Hawkins and pursuing being a journalist, a big time journalist, the right way. I think that's the proper ending for a character arc at this time. Maybe leaving her and Jonathan's relationship up in the air. Like maybe they will, maybe they won't. But I think Jansy is where I lean right now. And I've said on this channel, I'm pretty sure that I've preferred Stancy in the past. And that was probably years ago. That might've been 6 months ago. I don't even remember, to be honest with you, but it's undeniable that at the end in season 4, they tease Stancy. However, I tried to view it through a bit of a different lens this time, of Steve and Nancy kind of having a longing for what was, almost rekindling an old flame briefly, but not fully acting on it. I think Steve definitely still has some old feelings there. And in a way, it's like two old friends getting together and reminiscing on some of their nostalgic moments. But I just don't think that they're meant to be together forever, because when I break down Stancy, I've really learned to realize with age and just rewatching the show more and more, it is post season 2, it's way more one-sided. I think it's way more one-sided, leaning Steve wanting that, and that's totally fair. He clearly still has a love and admiration for her, but does Nancy reciprocate? And I don't know if she does. Maybe there's something there, but 10% compared to the majority of the love that she has for Jonathan. And so my preference, the best of Jancy's hard to beat, right? Like season 2 Jansy, when they're at Murray's, that's great. So I think I would lean Jansy, and we're going to see a lot more of Jansy, Jonathan and Nancy in this season. But I'm of the opinion that the show, when it concludes, I think Nancy should almost be independent of them both. And so that's kind of where I stand on that currently. But I know we're almost there now. We got officially 4.5 hours. Crazy. It'll be here before we know it. We're almost there, folks. We're almost there. Super Chat here says, big appreciation towards you, Chris, for the last 3 years, for every coverage and live stream you've done. The day has come. Let's do this one last time. One last time. I cannot sing, but I do love Hamilton. Thank you for sticking around for 3.5 years now. It's been, let's do this thing. One last time, one last adventure. I'm ready to go. I will be ready to run through a brick wall in about 4.5 hours. And so I'm ready. I wish we could fast forward time, but also I don't want to rush it, because this is the last time, building up to a new ep ever in terms of a premiere of a season. Think about that. That's deep. L. Troy says, do you think Derek will die? Thank you for the super chat, by the way. No, Now, I know that it's a new character and there's a trend of the Duffers to introduce new characters and kill them. Well, to me, I don't see them killing that kid. Apparently, he is a bully, according to his character description. He could get beat up, he could get picked on, but I just don't know if he's going to get like destroyed by a Demogorgon or something. Maybe he is super unlikable and they did introduce him to kill him, but I don't see it happening. But never say never. We know he's going to be in a decent amount of episodes. We've seen him in various locations. The Turnbow Trap involves his last name, so there's clearly something going on there. But we'll see. I think Derek's going to end up making it out alive. The Cobra Kai Hawk with the big old super chat. Thank you so much, dude. I appreciate that. What's up, Chris? I've been rewatching the show, and season 3 used to be my favorite season, but now rewatching the show, season 1 is my favorite. The nostalgia that I got rewatching it is just a perfect TV season. What is your favorite season? Great question, man. Yeah, so I mean, season 1, the nostalgia is real. It's the season I've probably gone back to the most because I rewatched it a lot in like 2016, 2017, 2018. So that was almost 10 years ago, right? But I watched it a bunch back then. So the nostalgia certainly is real. There's something almost charming about the smaller scale of the show and nostalgic for sure. I love it. Season 1's great, man. I would say, having just rewatched them all again, I've told you guys this. My ranking, I hate to rank the seasons because I don't like to. I just don't enjoy it because I think they're all great for different reasons. I do lean. For a while, it was season 1, right? Then season 2 came out. I still preferred season 1. And then 3, I was like, oh, I'm on this high from 3. And then, 1's actually the best. And then, 4 comes out. 4 is my favorite. Wait, I think I like 3 the best. 4. I don't know where I stand with it. And I'll say this much. When season 5's fully out, I'm going to rank the seasons one last time. And I promise you, season 5, in its conclusion and what it potentially retcons and recontextualizes, will inform my ranking. It'll be entirely new. Right now, today, what is my favorite season? I said this recently. I'm going to stick by it for now. I think I lean 4. Now, I don't care for the fact that a lot of our character groupings are spread out a bunch, but the highs of season 4 are the highest highs maybe any show ever has given me. So it's difficult, but I we'll see, but I think 4 is where I lean. You've got Dear Billy, you've got the Massacre at Hawkins Lab, you've got the Piggyback, but you've also got the Hellfire Club, which to me is the best premiere episode of the first 4. You've also got the introduction of Eddie. On top of that, Vecna is introduced. You have all-time moments, a banging soundtrack consistently, movie-length episodes, and reveals and revelations that are made that change the show as we know it. So to me, I do lean season 4 today. That could change. And frankly, I do expect season 5 to end up being the best. I think that's totally fair, by the way. But only time will tell. I hate ranking them, man. I don't like doing it. And I'm going to have to, I know. But season 1, I mean, I gained a lot of respect for season 2 on my rewatch. I think 2 is not my least favorite anymore. It can't be. So, yeah, there's that. Let's do a little speed round here in the chat. Again, I apologize. There's no way I'm going to get to everything. The chat's flying right now, so I'm trying to get to as much as I can. The only way to guarantee I see your question or comment is super chat, but I'm getting to as much as I can. Caitlin says, I'm watching while doing schoolwork. Well, hopefully it's making that go by faster. Let's see. I swear if Netflix crashes, I will crash. Whew. It's gonna be interesting to see if they can handle it. Only Strange Things crashes Netflix. True that. I have my Diet Dr. Pepper, but it's not on me right now. Let me say that much. All right. Okay. Vecna wrecking Cali would be wild. It would certainly be nuts, dude. It'd be insane. It'd be absolutely insane. Yes, so if you live in California right now, it is 12:35 p.m. It is 3:35 p.m. where I live in Georgia. But yes, it would drop at 5 p.m. for those in California. All right. Alrighty then. Pepsi break. Diet Dr. Pepper only for me. Okay. Hey, Chris, how are you? I'm doing well. Which ep out of Volume 1 is your most anticipated? Sorcerer. And the reason is because of the comments made by Ross where he said it was the most logistically insane shoot of their lives, and it's just a nuts episode. I can't wait. It's the longest of Volume 1. I cannot wait. Hunter's in here. Hey Hunter. Hey Kate, how you doing? Will you post some reactions on YouTube, or will that all be on Patreon? So I'll go ahead and announce this right now and kind of just give you guys the outline, and then I'll hop right back. I see you guys with the super chats. I'm gonna get right to those, so thank you for those. I am reacting to all 4 episodes of Stranger Things Season 5, Volume 1 at 8 p.m. Eastern, which is in 4.5 hours roughly. I will watch them right here, and then when I'm done with that, over the course of the next day or so or two, myself and Cam will collaboratively edit and get those out. So I will have reactions edited on YouTube where it'll be myself, and then the episode will be behind me, and it'll be, cut up. Obviously, for copyright reasons, I cannot put the whole episode, but it'll be like my reaction videos to Cobra Kai or any other reaction video to a movie or show that I've done on the channel. Those will be posted here on YouTube. However, if you want to sync up and watch the episode with me entirely, you can do that on Patreon. That means on Patreon, there will be a video of me and a timer, or a sync point will be established, so you guys will pull me up on your computer or phone or whatever, and then you'll pull up the episode, and there will be a 3, 2, 1, boom situation. You hit play on the episode and watch along with me, because I can't just, obviously, I wouldn't put the whole episode on my Patreon because that's not legal, I don't think. Anyway, it would be like, hey, here's the full reaction on Patreon where there's no cuts, no edits. You just sync up and watch with me. That's what's going to be on Patreon, the full thing. Obviously, not everything I do or say is going to make the YouTube video. And so you want to see the full, unedited reaction, it will be on my Patreon. So that's how I'm handling that. And of course, I will be doing a breakdown / ending explained video of Volume 1 in its entirety. That might be the longest YouTube video I've ever posted. It's going to be nuts. It's going to be nuts. So looking forward to that, of course. And, yeah, it'll be a fun time. But that's kind of the content rollout plan for Season 5. What a good Gatorade Zero that is, by the way. All right, we got a lot more super chats piling in. We have almost 1,500 people in here, so be sure to hit that like button, guys. Helps out a lot. Let's get to 1,500 likes. Why not? Do it. And super chat's the way to go to guarantee I get to your question, comment, concern. All right, so I answered this one, I answered this one. Isaiah's everything with super chat. Thank you so much. Says, hey, Chris. Can't believe the final season is here. It seems like yesterday I was counting down the days till Season 3. How are you feeling? Currently in this moment, I'm anxious. Not in I don't want to take that test. I'm anxious for that test. Just anxious with anticipation and excitement. Part of me is, I need to know. I need to know what happens. Yeah, that's how I feel. I'm anxious. I'm borderline nauseous if I think about it too much. And I'm just in a state of anticipation. It's like a kid on Christmas. I really and truly, what are they going to reveal tonight? That's kind of where I'm sitting here. I'm going, what are we going to see in Sorcerer? We're going to see something crazy, obviously, but is there going to be a huge massacre at Hawkins' lab level revelation? Man, it's tough to fully process, man. I'm feeling anxious, nervous, excited, all those emotions, all of them. Blake with a super chat. Thank you, Blake. So since Season 4 has come out, I've been curious why the Duffers didn't include the Mind Flayer with how much screen time the Upside Down had in Season 4. Good question. I actually posed this question in Season 4's Rewind on my Patreon. I asked, I was like, if you think about it, our characters haven't really brought up the Mind Flayer all that much. We haven't seen it in a while. And now, as we gear up for Season 5, I'm kind of thinking it's intentional to have the Mind Flayer lay low so that when a reveal happens that I'm very, very of the opinion will happen, that it's not Vecna who's in control of everything. It is the Mind Flayer. I think they're kind of intentionally laying low with the Mind Flayer to be like, well, Mind Flayer's actually been in control all along. So we'll see. But that's kind of my reasoning too. I'm I think the Mind Flayer, they have bigger plans for it. That was delicious. They have bigger plans for the Mind Flayer. That's my answer truly is something will be revealed that will change the show as we know it. And I always go back to that statement, but it's true. I think there will be some sort of crazy reveal that changes the show as we know it. So yeah, I'm with it. I'm with it. I think that the Mind Flayer, yeah, in season 4 or season 5, excuse me, something will go down with the Mind Flayer that changes who we think has all the power. Tess with another super chat says, also, who do you think has final line of the series? Theory, the Duffer brothers narrating as Mike / Dustin or other boys grown up. I like that theory. I like that theory a lot. I think when it comes to who speaks last, I think it has to be one of those two. Or excuse me, I think it has to be Mike or Will. And I kind of lean Mike. And my reason is there was a quote from the Duffers recently where they were talking about when they were writing season 1, Mike was kind of like a stand-in for them in their lives at that age. So it would make sense if Mike spoke the final lines of the show. He is the OG kid. He's reassuming the leadership role, the heart of the group here in this final season. And so, yeah, I lean Mike speaking those final lines. It would be really cool. To your point, I have not heard that theory. It'd be really cool if they did show, like, if they jump ahead, Stand By Me style or something, like, and we see an older character, like, reflecting on friendship or life. I don't want to see the face. I would rather see like the back of the character, or a character from afar. So I can't see what Mike would look like in 20 years or something like that. But if there was a voiceover and it were the Duffers, that'd actually be pretty cool. I'd be all right with that. But I think my vision for the music in the final moments, I think ending the show with Peter Gabriel's rendition of Heroes is the way to go. And I've said that forever. It needs to come back in season 5. It's in the odd numbered seasons, right? It's in Holly Jolly, season 1 at 3. It's in the finale of season 3. I think it needs to come back. And if that plays at the end, the kids are playing D&D one last time together, that would get me good. That would get me good. But no, I think the final line is going to be Mike. Another super chat here says, much love from South Africa. Vol1 dropping at 3 a.m. here. Welcome to my world for the past few seasons, man. It's interesting for sure, the 3 a.m. release. You'll have to let me know how that goes. But do you think our expectation for this final season might be too high and that we might be disappointed somehow? I really hope not. I honestly don't think so, no. If it were other creators who were trying to rush off from this show and go make a Star Wars movie, then I would be concerned. And I am throwing shade at Game of Thrones because I loved the show and that's what happened. So we don't have to worry about that. The Duffers are not trying to run away from this. They weren't rushing it. They want to end land the plane for fans and themselves. They themselves are the biggest fans of the show. They want to satisfy that and satisfy us. So I do not think we have to worry at all. Recently, there have been, hyped up projects that didn't deliver, but oftentimes those are properties or movies in franchises that do not prioritize storytelling oftentimes. And to me, the Duffers have always had full control over this world, and their vision is going to be sought out fully. I think they've obsessed. Sean Levy said they were obsessed with perfecting this ending. The whole cast and crew are like they've been obsessed, and a lot of all-time shows fall off because of the ending, and they did not want that to happen with Stranger Things. So I'm pretty confident they are going to land the plane, and I have every reason to be confident in my opinion as well. So I think we don't need to worry. I think that this season is going to deliver and then some. I think we'll be all right. Water break. Sorry. Let's see. I've watched your TikTok videos / theories for like a year. I've really enjoyed it. I think it would be too obvious to kill off 11, in my opinion. It feels too predictable in 11 endgame, by the way. Well, hey, I appreciate you for watching the videos. When it comes to what's up?
I just have to tell you. Left the apartment.
Yeah.
Went to the leasing office to get my key fob fixed.
Mm-hmm.
She reset my thing to the gate code. Left to get your shirt to the dry cleaners. Guess what? It's not ready.
Dang.
I come back. Guess what? My key fob doesn't
Dang.
work. Guess what? I go back to the leasing office, get a new key fob. Guess what? Still doesn't work.
Yikes.
It beeps. It turns green. Like it beeps and it works. Gate doesn't open. And no, before you ask, it's not the gate. Because when I turned around to go in the guest in the entrance, someone went in the
visitor entrance.
No, I'm in the visitor entrance.
Who knows?
The one that we go through.
We're having problems at the apartment, people. There it is. Yep.
Entrance.
Yep.
And the gate opened for them.
Yeah. So we have issues.
Your birthday present to me is getting
I can deal with it. I'll deal with it.
I went there multiple times. I tried.
I will deal with that. Trust.
I still have to go get your stupid dry
I'll get Steve's bat and I'll go deal with some people. Yeah, so sounds like we've had some issues, which is fine. We have one of our fobs at our apartment. It's not working, unfortunately. Apartment life, for those who live in apartments, you know. And God bless Cam for going to handle that, because that would have irritated me greatly as well. But there you go, little BTS into what's going on at the apartment. If you live in an apartment, let me know. It can be interesting, it can be frustrating, and that's life. It's the decisions we make. Gatorade Zero. Anyway. Whew. To answer your question, I am of the opinion that Malevolent is endgame. However, endgame to the point of one of them dying. So to me, that means, I think 11 dies. 11 dying is my main prediction. Guys, I think she's going to go. And so truly, I just, with the theories, too obvious to kill it all. Is it though? I feel like that would be maybe the gutsiest swing they could ever take. To me, that would be one of, if not the gutsiest swings they could ever take. And so we'll have to see. But man, I'm torn. Here's the thing. Could you imagine a scene comparable to what we got in season 4, where you have Mike giving the whole "I love you" speech to 11, right? In the pizza dough freezer. Could you imagine if we got something like that? Again, in Hopper's cabin, this time Elle doesn't wake up. Devastating. So no, I don't think killing Elle's too predictable. I think at this point, pretty much anyone dying you could deem as predictable, just because of the fact that, everyone's predicted everyone to die at some point. Does that make sense? Everyone's predicted someone to die at some point. So we'll see what happens. We shall see what happens. That Gatorade's hitting, by the way. But good old apartment life, it can be interesting for those who heard what we were talking about earlier. It can be interesting. I feel like Ted is not going to die. The super chat says feels pointless. See, I agree and disagree, because I think him dying would set up the potential for Mike and Nancy to assume these, not parental roles, but, mentor roles to Holly, because Holly, I feel, is the closest to Ted personally. And so to me, it could be cool to see them, that would strengthen their bond as siblings, the three of them. And I think that would really enable Mike to be the big brother leader he's always meant to be. And so I'm all right with that. I think Ted dying could serve a purpose for their character arcs, but also, who's to say? Yeah. Ted dying. Someone's going. Ted dying. A lot of people have joked that Ted's gonna die. We'll see. Could you imagine killing off a parent of one of the OG kids? I was talking about this on the phone literally earlier today with my buddy. That'd be gutsy. Next we got a super chat here from Eddie. It says new monster this season ? Thessalhydra, thoughts? Yeah, I would say there will be some new demo variant. We obviously have demo dogs, demo gorgons, demo bats. I kind of like the idea of a Thessalhydra-esque creature. I don't know what that would look like or who that could be. But yeah, I Thessalhydra. It'd be a great callback to season 1. Then I think about the budget. The budget is sky high. I think a lot of that's going to do with upside down lore. But yeah, we'll see. Man, Thessalhydra would be fun. I know there's a lot of theories going around about a dragon because of Will's painting, 3-headed dragon, etc., etc. Do they want to go there or not? It's hard to say. But I do think we'll get some sort of new creature. It could be a demo. Could you imagine a demo dragon, a demo Thessal, a demo Hydra? I don't know what the hell they want to call it, but anything's possible with it being the final season. You know what I'm saying? Anything is possible. To quote The Lonely Island, like Kevin Garnett, anything is possible. All right, we got 1,510 people in here, 1,510. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for hanging out. We have almost 4 hours to go until the first 5 episodes premiere. We're almost there. Not really. We have a long way to go, but we're almost there at the same time. Let's see. Yes, the Byers and Wheelers are eating breakfast here. That is a shot we have seen. It's an interesting one. Are they living together? We're going to get the context for that. I can't wait to see what happens. Will I be skipping the intros? Absolutely not. I never skip the intros when I watch Stranger Things. I love the theme song too much to skip. So I gotta listen in. Have to. I absolutely love your videos. Cannot wait for what's to come. What is your biggest prediction for season 5? For season 5, volume 1, I really, guys, and I hate that I feel this way. I can't fight the feeling, guys. Murray's gonna die. I think Murray's gonna die in the first 4 episodes at some point, and he will be the tone-setting death heading into the back half of the season. And I hate that I feel that way, but I just hate it. If I'm not able to watch till Friday, would you stay off TikTok? Absolutely. Stay off socials all day. All day. If you are worried about spoilers, you got to stay off of them. You got to. Any big swings the Duffers take in season 5 will be about execution. That's right. Well, better execution. Quoting a little sports stuff for you. All right. We got a lot more super chats. Let's get to them, guys. What do you say? Vecna's a D&D lich, which means he must have... Whoa, we're getting out of my vocab depth here with D&D. Think Horcruxes. Okay. I got you. What do you think they are? Will, the grandfather clock, the hand and eye. I see what you're saying. If I just apply... Okay, Horcruxes for Vecna. Definitely the clock. I could see... This is a wild theory. I've not. So there's a necklace. This is a crazy fan theory. I never thought anything of it until right now. There's a necklace worn by the counselor, whose name I'm not going to say because that's a trivia question on the trivia that I made that I'm going to do later. What if that's one of them? I think it looks like a clock or something along those lines. Horcruxes for Vecna. Definitely Will and the clock. I think you're onto something there. Castle Byers. We could say the Byers house as a whole. We could say Chester the dog, who's no longer around. I'm kind of playing with those, but Castle Byers would be a fascinating one. It's not in the best condition right now, if you'll remember, but I think it's got to come back into the fold in some capacity. So we'll see. We shall see. All right. Where are we at? There we are. I lost my spot. I always lose my spot on these streams. I tend to do that. Congrats, wedding vlog. I don't think so. Could you imagine? Hey guys, this is my wedding. No. But it'll be fun. There'll be pictures for sure. Isaiah's Everything says, hey, Chris, what would you think of a hypothetical Lego Stranger Things video game? Sign me up. I'm streaming the whole thing to 100% completion. Similar to Lego Star Wars, Lego Harry Potter. Yeah, absolutely. So my favorite Lego games, I obviously love Lego Star Wars. The OG trilogy especially is great. The complete saga. That's the one that I 100% completed on Twitch that one time. Thrilling time that was, by the way. I would also say... Then you've got Lego Pirates. Lego Pirates is a deep cut. I feel like not everyone maybe played that. Lego Pirates of the Caribbean is an all-time game. All-time game. You also have Lego Indiana Jones. That's maybe my favorite. If it's in the style of some of those games, bring it on. You go through each season in Lego form. I'm there. I think it sells. I think it's brilliant. Bring it on. Lego Stranger Things after season 5, please. We're getting a physical set that we can build, so I'll be there for that, obviously. Come on. That'd be awesome. Tess with another super chat says, what's your explanation for how Steve, Nancy, Robin, and Dustin came back to the right side up with the massive gates opening? So, this is a question it's a good question that you ask. So in season 4, at the end of season 4, we see Steve, Robin, Nancy, they're at the Creel house in the Upside Down, and they Michael Myers Vecna, essentially, where he falls out the window and then he's just gone. Elsewhere in the Upside Down, Eddie's dead, and Dustin is there comforting him. Well, in that moment, after Max's death, right, the rifts happen. The Max is dead, 4 deaths, 4 rifts, boom, they converge by Hawkins Library. Well, we don't see them again. We never see Dustin leave the Upside Down. We never see Steve and them leave. We cut to 2 days later, and they're just out. My thought process here is that they just went to one of the murder gates. I feel like they probably just went to one of the murder gates, and likely Eddie's trailer, and you know what it probably was? They probably just moved furniture to get through, because I know they like cut the bed sheet or whatever. Or, Steve, I mean, we saw Dustin get through anyway. Does that make sense? He jumped up. So I think Steve probably helped everyone get through, and then they moved some furniture and just went through that gate. That's how I've always viewed it. If they wanted to get, crazy, I guess they could have swam through the one at Lover's Lake. I don't know. That's a great question, though. I've always just viewed it as they go back through personally. But the big rifts, I know exactly what we're talking about. Probably didn't go through those, if I had to guess. This super chat here says, Nancy says Vecna showed her massive monster with a gaping mouth. Would love to hear your thoughts on this. What could it mean? So my take on this is that this is referring to the Mind Flayer. Or, I mean, it could be a new monster, but I think it could just be referring to perhaps the Mind Flayer is looming over Hawkins for real this time. Like, we've always the closest we've really gotten to the Mind Flayer and seeing like a face is in season 2 when Elle closes the gate. You can kind of see its head and like a silhouette of it behind the gate. It does look like it might have a gaping mouth. It's very xenomorph from Alien. And so I wouldn't be shocked if that's what they ended up doing at all. But yeah, I think it could just be the Mind Flayer. Honestly, that's my take on it personally. Because I mean, she's seen a Demogorgon, she's seen Vecna. How up close and personal have a lot of these characters got with the Mind Flayer? I think that it could just be a new form of the Mind Flayer, or it could be a new creature. But I'm leaning that she's referring to the Mind Flayer. By the way, a lot of what she saw, a lot of what Vecna showed her is coming true, which is scary. Especially already in the season 5 footage, we've seen Hawkins on fire, dead soldiers everywhere, monsters everywhere. I mean, she talks about how Karen, Mike, and Holly are ... She doesn't finish her sentence. Hopefully they don't all die. Thoughts on Byler rumors? Are there rumors about Byler? Byler comes up every single stream, and I say the same thing. I'm of the opinion that Will has feelings for Mike. Pretty evidently. I don't think Mike reciprocates. I think there will be a moment in season 5 where Will comes out to the group and everyone hugs him, embraces him, they love him, they move on, and Byler is not in game. That's kind of my take on it. That's my take on it. Are there rumors of it being a thing? We'll see. I feel like there always are, honestly. Friendly reminder to stay present and savor it. We can never watch this last season over again for the first time. This is so bittersweet. That's a very good point. Yeah, very good point. Like, this is the last time, I said this earlier in the stream, this is the last time we're going to sit down to watch a season premiere of Stranger Things ever. So it's nuts. It's nuts. By the way, a train's about to drive by, so if you guys hear any background noise, that's what that is. So apologies for that. Sometime on my Patreon, someone was like, we never hear it. I'm like, well, that's good. This one's a bit loud, so I'm gonna mute for a split second to take a sip of water, and I'll unmute momentarily. That's good enough. No, yeah, I agree. We got to savor it. It's special, and it'll be here in 4 hours and 1 minute, technically, according to iOS Mac time. It's 3:59 p.m., so we got 4 hours to go. Gotta savor it. Pete Thunder with the super chat. Thank you so much. New member here, Firefly Editor. Ooh, clean. I love the Aragorn profile pic, by the way. Jamar with the super chat. Jmar with the super chat says, Wait till people see when neither Malevolent or Byler are endgame. 11 may die, and also even if Will and Mike are just friends, I hope Will gets a boyfriend by the end that isn't Mike. Thoughts? I mean, I don't think Byler's going to happen. I think Malevolent, like I mentioned earlier in the stream, I think they're endgame to a point of death. So I think they're going to, I guess they're not endgame by definition then, but they would be if she would live. I think they're going to be together, and ultimately she is going to die, and it's going to hurt like hell. I think it's going to be upsetting. It's going to be to talk earlier in the stream, someone said, what would be the most devastating death? I said, Dustin. 11 would clearly be devastating. But yeah, I mean, I'm kind of with it. This idea that neither, I mean, by definition, you're right. If 11 dies and Byler doesn't happen, neither are endgame. What couples can be at that point? And I think Jopper has to be. I think they're the one of them all. They have to be happy. That would be the only way to bring their characters to a satisfying end. Joyce and Hopper have to be together forever, in my opinion. So Of all the couples, I think they have to be, because they are also the oldest couple. Everyone else, they're young. They're in high school. They can go live and find someone else. Joyce and Hopper, guys, that's it. They're soulmates to me. And so they need to end up together, personally. 4 hours to go. Stranger Things just tweeted, I got a notification. They have a countdown going, by the way. It's pretty cool stuff. 3 hours, 58 minutes, 47 seconds, according to them. We'll see how accurate that is. Snack says, Snack2425, I recognize you in here, says, we like you so much people are skipping school. Yeah. I'm not condoning that. Well, here in the U.S., I'm pretty sure a lot of people are off school because tomorrow's Thanksgiving in the U.S. And so a lot of people are like off school for the week. But skipping school, yeah, I honestly respect. If you're skipping school for Stranger Things, I kind of respect it. This super chat here says, do you know where the Byler theory comes from? Because I can't figure it out. Also, I won't get to start watching until 10 p.m. Mountain Time. Dang. That's brutal. So what is that? I'm trying to do the math here. Is that 4 hours or 2 hours after the episodes come out? I think that's 4 hours after the episodes come out, because Mountain Time's 2 hours behind Eastern, I want to say. And that'd be 6 to, so 4 hours after it comes out. Stay safe on socials for sure. I would just put your phone on Do Not Disturb. But I think Byler just comes from, I don't know where it originated from. I mean, every show has ships. I don't know where Byler necessarily, when was the first moment? Who's the first person to be like, I think they like each other? I don't know where it originated from truly, but I definitely think season 2 probably is where those theories started to ramp up, if I had to guess, just with, Mike being with Will a lot more, especially the scene when they go off after Will has a bit of an episode, a now memory, if you will, trick or treat freak, and Mike's there with him. I feel like that probably lends itself to a bunch of it. And then the painting in season 4, that whole, all that stuff definitely added to that evidence as well. So I would say it probably just became a thing on Twitter and then it just exploded like wildfire. Cobra Kayak with another super chat. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Episode 6 of season 5 is titled Escape from Camazotz. Camazotz is the Lord of Bats monster from D&D. So do you think we're going to see that monster in episode 6, or maybe Eddie's come back that way? Eddie comes back that way. I've thought about this. If you look up Camazotz, there's that D&D lore, there's the Mayan, death bat god. There's this, I think Camazotz is also referenced in A Wrinkle in Time, which, if you go back to Ross Dever's photo dumps, he posted a cover of that book at one point, excuse me. So it's fascinating to see what, context they're going to use Camazotz with. Is it referring to A Wrinkle in Time? If so, does that open the door to some sort of time travel? Is Camazotz referencing, the upside down in this world? It's going to be interesting to see the route they go with that. But I don't think it involves Eddie. I think Eddie's in the dirt. I think Eddie's gone. R.I.P. to the man. He was great, rest his soul. But I don't think it's going to involve Eddie. The likelihood of it being a new creature would be pretty crazy. What if they do something with Kaz? It'll be fascinating to see what they actually end up doing with that. Let's see. My friend just said the 5 on the Stranger Things page is turning upside down. That's interesting. That's interesting. On Twitter, it is, dude. Holy crap. That is so cool. We're almost there, folks. Everything's turning upside down. Wow. I can't wait, by the way. I genuinely can't believe that we're almost there. Wow. Okay. Gatorade Zero's hitting. We're almost there, guys. 3 hours, 55 minutes to go. All right, let's see this. It says, looking ahead here, because to answer your question, I think it could be maybe to the point someone made earlier, that could be this could involve the monster with a gaping mouth. It's possible. Staying in the realm of Camazotz, Tess says most plausible Camazotz theory: Max escaping Vecna/coma will become Kaz, and Vecna escaping Mind Flayer or your own. You're I think with Camazotz, I'm kind of leaning every character being stuck in the Upside Down. And, Camazot's representing the Upside Down in the sense of characters are stuck there. They're then trying to create a bridge to get back to the right side up. I think that'd be a cool 3-episode arc to explore. Someone becoming Kaz would be very, very interesting, especially because we do know D&D lore plays heavily into every season of Stranger Things and every plot of every season. And that would be gutsy. It would be a big swing. People obviously theorize that endlessly with Eddie being Kaz, but to think of it being Will or Max, it's possible. I mean, Will is, you're going to help me one last time, William. How so? That would be nuts. I like that. I like the idea of Will maybe being Kaz, but I think Max is going to have a big role to play as well, and from within Vecna's mind. The Camazot's theories we still have about a month to theorize on, because we're going to get all the context from the first 4 episodes as we watch those tonight, and then we'll be able to see kind of what goes down. But yeah, I'm rocking with some of these theories though. I think we'll have a better picture after tonight. Do I think any major character dies in part 1? Yes. If you classify Murray as a major character, then yes, I think Murray's going to go. I think he's going to be the biggest death of Volume 1. I think he'll be dead by 12:30 a.m. Eastern tonight, which is insane. But I really do think he's going to go. I really do. So yeah, there you go. If you count him as a major character, then yes. Hello, everyone. Hello to you. Welcome. I'm going to bounce right back over to those supers here in a second. Don't you worry. Thank you guys for sending those in. That's the way to guarantee I get your question, comment, concern. I should make a countdown. I feel like the stream is kind of a countdown, honestly. Do you think they'll reference the first Shadow play in some way? Yeah, I think they definitely are going to dig into Henry's past, and things that are shown and revealed in the play are going to be brought to the show, to the series, I should say. Gatorade Zero breaks hit difference. First time I've ever had Gatorade Zero on stream. Okay. Let's see. I hope Netflix doesn't crash. I'm with you. I hope it doesn't crash as well. That'd be a bummer. Do I think Murray will have the most brutal death in season 5? So I think he's a goner, like I just said, but I don't think it's going to be. I think it's going to be comparable to Bob's death, which if you classify Bob's death as brutal, it kind of is. I think it'll be bloody. I think Demogorgons are going to probably eat him up, which I hate to say. But yes, I think it's going to be a brutal death. Maybe not the most brutal. I think some of those military deaths at the base are going to be the most brutal. But we'll see. Super Chat here says, thank you for giving us a place. Sorry, I read Ty, but TY means thank you. Thank you for giving us a place to direct our excitement together and everything you do for us all. We appreciate you. So excited. Well, thank you for the Super Chat. Thank you for being in here. And truly, I love this community. It's grown greater than I ever could have envisioned when I started covering Stranger Things in 2022, technically 2019, if you count my season 3 review when I was a young lad, back in the day, back in last decade, I guess I'd say. No, it's been awesome to hang out and covering this show. Truly, I mean, I was talking about this earlier. Like, I truly love this show. It never once am I like, oh, I want to make videos about this show. I adore making videos about this show. Sometimes I'll stay up till 4 a.m. getting videos out when like a trailer drops, but it's not like I'm dreading doing that. I love doing that. And it's been a hell of a journey, truly a hell of a journey. And you know what? To quote Vecna here, this is only the beginning of the end. That's what he says in season 4. And that's where we are right now. This is technically only the beginning of the end. We get the first 4 eps. We don't get the full picture tonight. Yeah. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for hanging out. And it's going to be special. It's going to be special. Cannot wait. What a delicious a beverage that is. I'm going to miss Argyle. Someone says, shout out Argyle, underrated comedic relief of season 4, but also a character who served his purpose in the show. I think we can all agree. Certain shows have characters that are just meant to be there for one season. Argyle was that for Stranger Things. He'd be out of place in this last season, and I just don't think that it would work out, unfortunately. So we'll see. I'll miss him, but it's not like he was the best character in the show or anything like that. So we shall see. We shall see. What happened to him? Someone asked. He just went back to California. We have to remember he doesn't live in Hawkins. He never did. He was just there because he drove him. He probably helps, clean up Hopper's cabin a little bit and said, all right, peace, guys. Going back to California. And everyone else probably, yeah, I mean, what actually happened with the Byer's house out there is the real question. Those are the little things that I'm interested to see them to discuss. Michael says, my two biggest hopes, Callie returns and 11 and Hopper live. Thoughts? I'm with you on one of these. I think Hopper and Elle living would be my ideal vision, right? Like, Hopper and Elle are a great father-daughter duo. It would give Hopper the opportunity to have a daughter and live a happy life because, as we all know, he lost his daughter, Sarah, in a devastating fashion. And he had to process that throughout a lot of season 1 with finding Will. So for him to have a daughter forever, I mean, it would be special for him to have this new family, this new lease on life. I think that would be very fitting and emotionally satisfying, right, for his character's conclusion. I just don't know how happy they want to go. Regarding Callie returning, I just don't want that at all. So that's not a hope for me. That's a don't. A hope list and a don't list. That is a don't list for me. Do's and don'ts. That's a don't. Please don't. Gavin with the super chat says, Steve and Nancy remind me of Sebastian and Mia from La La Land. They clearly love each other, but they're better off separated. You know what? I actually said this to Cam the other day. I said, what if Jansy had a La La Land moment? Right person, wrong lifetime. So I could see, yeah, I mean, the La La Land ending, it could be applied to both of them, I feel. I think whichever route they go, I think they're going to go that way, where it's like a La La Land type thing where they're clearly were in love and maybe meant to be, but not in this lifetime, and they have to go do their own thing, and they'll always have something special between them, but they might not be able to settle together. And so I kind of agree with that wholeheartedly, Gavin, about it being a La La Land type situation with whoever she were to maybe end up with. So that's kind of where I think they're going to go writing-wise. Most hype episode for you, except finale. Mine is episode 4. I'd say the penultimate, The Bridge. It's co-directed by the Duffers and Sean Levy. That alone gets me excited. And the title, The Bridge. What is The Bridge? Is it something connecting Dimension X and the upside down and the right side up? Like, I need to know. The Bridge is a sick name. It creates mystery. Bring it on. That's what I say to that. Byers Vader says, Nahum again. Sad the show's ending. These last 4 years I've been watching you have been awesome. A true honor to be a part of this community and journey. Thanks for everything, Chris. I'll miss it all. Well, hey, thank you for being here. And yeah, it's been a great time covering the show. Again, I always say this, the channel will always be around. I've talked movies and shows forever on here, from different fandoms, from movies to shows to Netflix shows to Stranger Things, of course, is a big part of the channel lately because it's coming out. But I mean, I will always make videos forever about all things. So if you found me through Stranger Things, but you're interested in other movies and shows, I encourage you to check out some of my other videos as well, especially getting into next year. I'll be covering a lot of bigger shows and movies. So it'll be fun. It'll be fun. Stick around, to quote Arnold. But thank you for being here. And I love the little Vader profile pic. Is that Rogue One Vader? I can't tell from here. It's kind of small. I think that's Rogue One Vader. I want to say I could be totally off base with that though. Okay. By the way, been an hour 13. Doesn't feel like it. It's going by fast. Firefly Editor says, I think Maleven is endgame, TBH. I don't see Byler happening. I do think Will is going to open up to Mike about his feelings, though. Everyone who says Maleven is toxic, for if they're still teens, I think. Yeah, I think I agree about Maleven being endgame to the point of death. Wholeheartedly agree that there will be a scene where Will opens up truly and tells him his feelings for Mike. But I don't think Mike will reciprocate. And I do think Maleven will be together until she dies, which I don't want to happen, but I think it's going to happen. It sucks. El Troy says, will we find out what is under Lucas's bed? Never. Little Sad won't have your merch today, but for next one. Well, there you go. Yeah. For Vol 2. By the way, this is the new merch. Firefly shop. It's linked in the description. She crushed it with the design. Here it is. Boom. My favorite characters are, and again, thank you for the support. My favorite characters in no order would be Hopper, Steve, Dustin, Max, Robin, Lucas would be thrown in that top 10 probably. We could also throw, who would we throw in the top 10 in no order, by the way? We would throw I don't know. At that point, I don't know. It gets tough. I love all the characters. I love a lot of these characters, I should say. Those are just some that came to mind immediately. Cobra Guy Hawk with another super chat. Thank you so much, Cobra Guy Hawk. Crushing it today. Do you think that Stranger Things Season 5 is going to be the most watched Netflix show ever, like Stranger Things just became the first Netflix show ever, with all seasons being in top 10 most watched ever? So imagine Season 5. Yeah, I think so. I think Stranger Things Season 5 is going to break records, and that stat you just read is proof of it. I mean, 4 seasons of this show that have been out, 2016, 2017, 2019, 2022, all 4 seasons in the top 10 on Netflix right now because everyone is gearing up for the moment. I think that the finale is going to break viewership records. I think every drop is going to break viewership records because this is, to call back to an earlier point, this is like the show of a generation in a sense, and it's the moment, and everyone wants to be a part of the conversation, and rightfully so. It's Avengers Endgame level stuff in the world of TV. And of course, with it coming out around the holidays, people are going to want to be a part of the conversation at, dinner tables with family and friends as they get together. It's going to be a conversation starter for many. And so, yes, I fully think that we will see record numbers for season 5. And that's not insane. That's not biased. I think it's objective. I think we're going to see records broken with the views. And so, yeah, I'm with it. I think it's totally going to shatter records. I don't know what the numbers are. They've kind of changed their metrics for viewership recently, so it's confusing and doesn't really even make any sense, honestly. It could all be made up bullcrap. But whatever statistic they want to use, I think it'll be real high on the charts. I think season 5 is going to top season 4 in terms of viewership. Whatever statistic they want to use, I think we're comparing new metrics to old in terms of what stats they take. It's really confusing, the analytics behind it all, and it doesn't really make sense. So we'll see. But I do think whatever they report, whenever those numbers come out, record breaking for sure. Yes. I think it'll be the most watched Netflix show ever. I do. Call me a madman. But man, I really do. So thank you for the super chats again. It means the world. And yes, top 10, give me top 2 and not 2. Jean with the super chat says, what death in season 5 will get you the most emotional? For me, Steve sacrifices for Nancy. And she calls him an idiot and he calls her beautiful like in season 1. I'm sticking with Dustin. I was asked this question earlier. I'm sticking with Dustin because he is still that lovable kid from season 1. He's already gone through so much losing Eddie. To see Steve's reaction to Dustin, crushing. To see the OG boys' reaction to Dustin, crushing. To see even Nancy, saved you a slice from episode 1, or the dance of the snowball. To see Nancy's reaction, crushing. I don't want to see Dustin go. That would probably hurt the most. Genuinely, if we're being real, any of the OG boys would, or 11 or Max, would hurt probably the most. But specifically, I think the OG party, Lucas, Mike, Will, Dustin, because of their camaraderie and bond from the opening episode, watching one of them lose their brothers, that would hurt like hell. So, yeah, I mean, Steve would obviously crush my soul. Anyone dying will crush my soul of the mains. Like Murray might not. I think Murray's awesome, but it's not going to be like a soul-crushing blow to see him die, where it would really hurt me if Steve died, you know what I'm saying? Or Nancy. But I think the OG party, any of them going would be the most, just rip your heart out and step on it. Gatorade Zero's gone. Absolutely crushed it. And it hit. And the best part about it, 0 sugar. All right, let's keep going. Thankful to you for giving community training stands. Well, Chris, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for being here. Dark Knight, Nolan over Infinity War. I watch Infinity War more. Dark Knight might be the better made film, but I mean, yeah, fair. I know a lot of people share the same sentiment. Season 4 is my favorite season. TBH has the best episodes, best moments, arcs, best storyline. The Russia side plot with Hopper is the best part of season 4. See, I always hear people dismiss that as the worst part, so it's interesting to hear someone acknowledge that as the best. I really like Hopper's arc. It does provide some of the best moments in the back half of the season with the Demogorgon fight, the Jopper reunion, Murray, torching some demos. That's fun. There's definitely some standout MVP moments from that storyline. But at the same time, I do think it on rewatch can drag a little bit. However, 4 is my fave as of right now. That will probably change in about a month when we get to season 5. I'm pretty confident 5 is going to have the perfect blend of everything. Super Chat here says, what's your views on Return of Argyle, Dimitri, and Yuri? Not going to happen. And unless it's a really quick cameo scene, like Argyle, they could hop on a phone call with Argyle for some reason. Dimitri and Yuri, they could provide value for some reason in like the finale. But even then, I just don't know. I don't see where they serve purposes in the story. And look at every other long-running big show. Sometimes there's just characters who show up for one season. They serve their purpose in that season. They don't come back. Those all seem to be season 4 specific characters. And so I don't think they're going to have a return, unfortunately. Scream says, how do you think Volume 1 will end, and which Vol do you think will be the most violent? I think that Volume 1 might actually be the most violent because I'm pretty confident we're getting Sorcerer. I mean, that all that military-based stuff's going down in Sorcerer, and Sorcerer's episode 4. That's Volume 1. I think that's going to be where we see the carnage. Really, that's going to be nuts. It's going to get nuts. Yeah. So I'd be concerned about that if you're worried about violence. Volume 1's ending. I was talking about this with my buddy Jacob Starcourt. Volume 1's ending. Where is it going to end? Is it going to go the route of we've just experienced loss and we need to bounce back from that? Or is it going to be more of a holy crap that just happened in season 5 or episode 5, volume 2 is going to pick up right where we leave off? I wonder if the moment from the official trailer, right, of Vecna sort of levitating Will right in front of him, that can't be like the final shot of season 4 or 5, episode 4, right? Like they probably have concealed whatever the final shot is. I think personally it's going to involve some sort of reveal, but only time will tell. Only time will tell. So we'll have to find out. But yeah, I really don't know. I wonder if there's a possibility Will gets possessed by Vecna or the Mind Flayer, etc., etc. We'll see how they go about that. Okay, repossessed, I should say. And the season ends on a dark note. The volume, I should say, ends on a dark note where Will. They get Will out of there and they don't realize he's been possessed or whatever. And so they get out to a safe location like WSQK, and it ends with like Will waking up and Vecna speaking through him or something nuts like that. I don't know how big of a swing they want to take, but it's really hard to predict. Do I think there will be time travel? I don't think there will be time travel. I'm of the opinion that they could sort of slip through time in the upside down. I don't know how they would even do that, by the way, unless there's other dimensions introduced. But I don't think we're going to see like a reset in time where the show's going to end and it'll be 1983 again. I don't think they're going to make a device like the DeLorean or some sort of endgame watch system with particles. I think they're probably going to stay away from time travel because that gets too crazy for a show that otherwise has been remotely grounded. I mean, obviously there's supernatural elements, but it hasn't gone that far. That would be pushing it, I feel, for a lot of people personally. I've been following you all through the long wait and just want to say thank you from Norway. Well, hell yeah. Thank you for watching from Norway. What do I think 11 knows about Will's disappearance? I think more than we know. And we'll find out via flashback. I think there could be some young Elle, a lot more young Will. There's a whole thing going around right now that's trending about how the Duffers were asked about, in season 1 when Will's chased, people thought it was Vecna instead of a Demogorgon silhouette after season 4 came out. Well, one of the Duffers said, Demogorgons don't have telepathic powers, right? Like the ability to move things with their minds. So how did the chain on the door come unlocked? And they hinted that could be revealed. Well, that could involve 11. That could involve, who knows? Will, Vecna, someone. Water break, by the way. But we'll find out. It'll be fun. I think we'll get all the answers. I think there's going to be a lot of flashbacks here, and I'm honestly okay with that. Hey, I'm on season 3, episode 7 now. Plan on watching it and going straight to season 5. I've never watched it before now. 5 words to describe season 4. You should not be in the stream. You're going to get spoiled. Run. No. Hopefully you haven't been spoiled for anything. I don't know how you haven't by now, but enjoy the finale of season 3. That's arguably my favorite up of the show. It contains a really emotional moment that hits you. It hits you. Even if you know what's to come after that, it hits you. I would say 5 words to describe season 4. Epic. Okay. Let's look up this word real quick to make sure I'm about to use it correctly because I don't want to look like a fool. I would say let's see. Revelatory. Epic. I would say long. Not in a negative connotation. It's the longest season, and it's going down as that. I would say tragic, but I would also say badass. There you go. There's 5 words to describe season 4 for you. What are my plans about streaming these content? After, I'm going to continue doing what I do. I've always talked movies and shows. A lot of Netflix shows coming out next year. Outer Banks is coming to an end. You've got a new season of Wednesday potentially coming out back half next year, likely 2027. I do lots of movie reviews, rankings, all that. A lot of Stranger Things content has been coming out on the channel because we're gearing up for season 5. But I've had the channel since 2019, and I've always talked all sorts of movies and shows. So if you found me through Stranger Things, consider checking out some of my other stuff. We have 2 massive Marvel films coming out next year in Doomsday and Brand New Day. I'll be covering those heavily. So yeah, I do a lot of MCU new videos. This year was down for the MCU, sadly, like in terms of box office and everything. But next year, I think there's going to be a bit of a resurgence for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Cover a lot of that stuff, box office videos. But I'll probably hone in on a couple shows as well. So the channel's not going anywhere, so stick around. I hope Ted gets some more chicken before he dies. Sure, take us for all we're worth. Okay, I love that little exchange he has with Dustin. I hope that Ted lives, but it's looking pretty bleak for the entire Wheeler party right now, truly, which is sad. The super chat here says, "Hey Chris, a bit off topic, but do you think Georgia is on upset alert this week?" No, I don't. By the way, I'll be at the game on Friday, Georgia Tech in Atlanta, Mercedes-Benz Stadium. I'll be there. So until that point, when I go to that game, I'll be doing Stranger Things content galore, editing, filming, etc., etc. I don't think Georgia's on upset alert. I would have if Tech had performed the past 3 weeks, but they've looked down. Now they're going to get up. It's a rival game, obviously, but I'm just of the opinion that, I just think Georgia's going to handle them. And Georgia Tech's defense is very suspect. I know that Haynes King can fight, and that's Georgia Tech's quarterback. He's probably going to have a solid game, but I think in the end, I take coaching, I take experience in games like this, and I think Georgia's offense is going to be able to score at will. That's my take on the game. So I don't think they're on upset alert. If you would have asked me this, if Tech was undefeated right now, sure, but that's just not the case. Super chat here says, "I find it both awesome and beautiful that a story like this can connect us so deeply. Love the channel. Chris, was a long day at work and I'm so ready." Well, I'm glad you're off. I hope that you have a great break if you have a break. But enjoy the episodes tonight. I agree. This is the best fandom, in my opinion, period. I'm a part of many fandoms, and I just love the Stranger Things fandom. It's passionate fans of all ages, all backgrounds, around the world. It spans the globe, and there are just such passionate fans. And so to me, I love this fandom, truly. And it is a beautiful show. It's a beautiful story, and it's truly connected a bunch of us over almost a decade now. So it's been a hell of a ride. Absolutely. What's the difference between the Mind Flayer and Vecna? So the Mind Flayer, to our knowledge thus far in the show, because I'm sure they'll give even more depth, the Mind Flayer is an ancient entity of sorts that, to our knowledge, we first see in Dimension X, which we don't really even know what that entirely is. Is it connected to the Upside Down? Is the Upside Down an extension of it? These are things that genuinely have not been concretely answered. We'll find out in season 5. And the show wants us to believe that the Mind Flayer, or technically it has said, the Mind Flayer, right, is this being that has conquered previous species and races and entities, and it views itself as inferior. And so it goes and sort of conquers these worlds, and seemingly it is trying to do that here in Hawkins, Indiana. Well, Vecna, described as the field general, is, in my opinion, whatever the hell Dustin says about him, like a general for the Mind Flayer. It seems like at one point in season 4 that, the Mind Flayer, that Vecna is in control of the Mind Flayer, because there's a shot of him in Dimension X forming this shadowy cloud into a spider, because we know Henry Creel obviously had this like fixation with Black Widow spiders in his house. In my opinion, because the show wants us to think right now, Henry, who becomes Vecna, spoiler, sorry, is ultimately, controlling everything, the Demogorgons, the Mind Flayer, all that stuff. I think that it will be revealed in season 5. that it's actually the Mind Flayer who corrupted Henry. Anyway, the difference is Vecna is a person. Vecna was a person, not really anymore, more of a monster. But Vecna is Henry Creel and was sent here and is slowly losing humanity, whereas the Mind Flayer has a lot more mystery, more particles, more an entity we don't know much about. So there's more mystery there, whereas we know the backstory of him, but they're not the same person or same thing. This actually, thoughts on 11 opening the door. I don't know why that would be the case. I don't know why that chain opened. I don't know if the Duffers were just messing around, if we're actually going to see anything or not, if they had everything planned out that far in advance, or if they maybe have the opportunity to do a retcon. But I think there's a fun opportunity there for sure. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Netflix is probably going to crash, to go back into the regular chat here. My number one prediction is that Mike will, in the end, make a big sacrifice because no one is expecting it. Mike dying would truly shock me. I think he's super safe. It would truly shock me. Number one death prediction, Murray, guys. And I hate that I hate it. Truly Vecna. I think Vecna is a goner, but Murray would suck. All right. Trivia soon, someone asks. Maybe a little later in the stream, I'll do some trivia. I will do it at some point. Trust. Shout out Jay Hayes, one of the mods in here alongside Starcourt, by the way. Happy Stranger Things Day release. Yeah, Stranger Things release day, rather. It isn't Stranger Things Day. It's Stranger Things release day, as I say. Yeah, we're almost there. We're almost there, folks, which is very exciting. Let's see. Where the hell was I in the chat? I always lose my spot in these things. Pesky little pop-ups sometimes. There we go. I found it. Clicking through the behind-the-scenes studio, because you guys just see the chat. Sometimes all these things pop up, man. I'm like, where am I? All right, there we are. So I answered that. I answered that. Have I answered that? Yes. Have I answered that? Yes. Have I answered that? Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. Do I think Max's mom is alive or dead? Also, do you... Okay, I'll change the first part here. Do I think Max's mom is alive or dead? I think probably alive. I'd like to think most of the kids' parents are alive right now, but we could see some of them drop. Could you imagine, like, they actually killed like one of the Wheeler parents? They killed like Dustin's mom. They killed Max's mom. Like, they actually they take out a lot of the parents in the town. That would be dark. Like, how dark are we going with season 5? And there's a fine line too of going too dark and going overboard while still being able to maintain like the heart and humor of the show that's kind of at its core in a sense. I'm interested to see how they balance the tones. That's a big question I have going into this last season. I think Max's mom is alive. How would I feel if it were D&D campaign? It would ruin the show, and I don't think we have to worry the Duffers have shot this down. This was like a fun theory that ran wild online for a while there, but it's definitely not going to happen. I think we're fully in the clear, so we're going to be okay. The whole show will not be revealed to be a D&D campaign. Super Chat here says, I love you, are really powerful words. I think Mike had a hard time saying it to Elle because he's afraid to lose her, and he grew up with a family who doesn't necessarily share their feelings. Mike loves Elle, he just can't express it. Very well worded. And I think the power of love, not to go full Back to the Future, Huey Lewis and the News on you guys, the power of love, I think it's going to end up winning out in the end. And that's kind of going to be one of the themes of the show. We've seen often, Henry telling Elle, like, use these sad, scary memories to like power up, to have stronger powers, essentially, while combating that with love, with positivity, with friendship. Those emotions win out in the end. And so I think that, that humanity is gonna win out ultimately, and Mike's gonna play a huge role there. The emotional connection between characters is gonna play a huge role there. Even like Joyce's love for her son, in a sense, you could say, weakened the barrier between the right side up and the upside down to where they could connect more so. And so I'm of the opinion that the human emotion wins out in the end. And we'll see. But yeah, that's very well worded. Theory, Ep 4 ends with the reveal of Dr. Owens. Could you imagine? It's like the end of Pirates of the Caribbean 2 with Barbossa walking down the stairs, and it's just like Dr. Owens pulls up. I don't know what that would do, because I don't know what Owens is going to do ultimately. I have my little theory about him being broken out of the base by Hopper and Elle, but could you imagine? Oh my. Do I think I will be more hyped for Vault 2 than right now? I don't know. Like, I'm pretty excited right now. I'm pretty pumped. I mean, I think I think I'll probably be a little more amped for volume 2, maybe just because we'll have seen 4 episodes, but I'm pretty excited right now. I'm trying to stay a little calm. We got, 2 hours or 3 hours? How long do we have? I can't do math. 3.5 hours roughly. We're almost there. We're close. We'll be there soon. But no, I'm pumped. I'm very pumped. I think that I'll probably be even more anxious we'll have a cliffhanger coming into this next volume. Will Callie return season 5? I don't think so. Thank you for the super chat, by the way. Thoughts on it? Welcome to Dairy. Super chat here says, I actually haven't seen it. I've heard really good things. Unless it's a show that I really trust from people I trust, I'm hesitant to jump on board before it ends because I don't want to invest in that journey and then have it disappoint me in the finale. That kind of happened with Peacemaker season 2. And so I kind of want to avoid that if possible. And so we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Thank you for the super chat, though. Mark says, hey, Chris, big fan. Can you briefly rank the 4 seasons? Thank you, Mark. So I'll give you this ranking right now, and it's very tentative. Don't hold me to this ranking, please. But it's what I would have to if someone was gun to your head, you have to rank them right now. And it's very different than the last time I ranked the seasons, however long ago that was. I think 4, I go at the top for reasons I explained earlier in stream. I think 1 and 2 are neck and neck right behind it. And then I think 3 is the bottom. I love 3 a lot. It's just right now I've realized it's the least important to the overall narrative. And I love it. Again, all the seasons are 10 out of 10 to me, so this ranking is moot. It doesn't really mean anything. It's not that important. I love the show as a whole body of work. But on rewatch, I felt, and I love 3, by the way. I love it. It's just the one that I think I have to acknowledge that it has to be there in terms of importance right now. Anyway. Yes, I will be reacting to every episode here on YouTube. There will be, clips. It'll be me small. Behind will be the episode. And then on Patreon is where you guys will be able to sync up and watch the full episode with me. But if you want a reference point for kind of what my reactions are going to look like on YouTube, go to my Cobra Kai reaction playlist. I watched every episode here on YouTube, and you'll get a point of reference there. By the way, there's 1,400 people in here, so thank you guys for being here. Hit that like button, helps out a lot. Let's get to 1,400 likes. I think we can do it. Let's get to at least 1,000 likes. I think it's possible. Do it. Do it, to quote Palpatine. Okay. What if Max wakes up and becomes evil and joins the dark side? I would not like that. I think that would be kind of a betrayal, and I just would feel like, oh man, they did us so dirty. Max, I want her to have that happy ending, and I don't want to see if she were to come back and be evil at that point. I'm like, they should have just left her dead. I don't want them to tarnish her name and her legacy. What if the ending is just one big D&D game? Yeah, people often throw this around, and I'm just like, there's no way. It's not going to happen. The Duffers have shut it down. It'd be absurd. It'd ruin the show. It's not going to happen. If Malevolent is toxic, then so is Jansy and Lumax. Max broke up with Louis 5 times because of miscommunication. Nancy and Jonathan ignore each other. Yeah, I don't think Malevolent is toxic. Personally, I don't. I guess that is a narrative some people have. I don't view it that way. But hey, I guess some people do. I don't see it that way. Because yeah, to your point, based on what? I mean, the I dump your ass stuff. I don't view them as toxic personally. To answer this question, yes, I will be doing full episode reactions on Patreon, meaning if you want to see my reaction to every moment, Patreon's the place to be, but I won't have footage there. It'll be like you guys sync up and watch with me. So I'm on the computer and the episode's on the phone or something like that. I'll establish a sync point so you guys can pull up the episode and watch along with. By the way, we got what? It's 4:40. It just turned 4:40. So we got 3 hours, 20 minutes. Is that right? 3 hours, 20 minutes to go. Yeah, I can't wait. We're almost there. Cam is the best. Cam is the best to help out with editing, especially. And just in general, she's the best. Okay. Joyce, drive. Season drops at 8 p.m. Eastern. 8 p.m. Eastern is when the season drops. We got a lot more super chats to get through, so I'm going to keep on keeping on with that. Thank you guys again for being here. If you hit the like button, if you subscribed, if you sent a super chat, if you've been in the chat, it means a lot. Again, the chat's flying, so for me, it's hard to really keep up with. I'm getting to as many as I can, but super chat's the way to go to guarantee that I can get to your question. What's good? Welcome in. Snack ideas for tonight. I've got ice cream, popcorn, Mike and Ike's. If you want to go crazy, I've seen this thing where it's like Demogorgon chocolate covered strawberries, and you like pattern them in a way that looks like a Demogorgon head with the mouth open. That's pretty cool. You can look into that. They also have Demogorgon pizza you can shape. Yeah, I like themed foods like that. Something like that could be fun. But honestly, popcorn with Reese's Pieces is the way to go. And Reese's Pieces is my favorite candy. It also happens to be Will's candy. So Desert Island candy for him, I'm pretty sure he said it is. Come on now. It's on brand to have Reese's Pieces. I feel like you got to now. You got to. Okay. All right. There's another train that's about to come by, so I'm going to mute real quick. Hopefully that was the worst of it, and apologies if you guys hear a little extra background noise right now, but we move, to quote Chris Pine from his character from the movie Don't Worry, Darling. I feel like not a lot of people get that reference when I say it, and I understand why. It wasn't a movie that was seen by a lot of people. Okay, let's see. I answered this. Gavin says, Argyle probably saw what's happening in Hawkins and said, screw that, and dipped. Yeah, he might be hanging out with Eden in the Surfer Boy pizza van again, just chilling. Who knows? By the way, Susie, will we see Susie or not? I hope so. Fog says, I really hope they bring in Vecna's backstory, but I hope they don't just assume people know what happens in the first shadow. Preach. I'm scared if they do, it will ruin the season for casual viewers. Yeah, I hope that there isn't an assumption that everyone was able to go see the first shadow play, because it is hard to access. It was on West End. It's on Broadway right now, but not everyone can go up there. I haven't been up there to see it. I want to see it eventually. I think that if it were as important as it needs to be, then it should be made accessible on like a sorry, I was getting a text on a what's it called, on the streaming service, like on Netflix. But if it's not pivotal, crucial, must watch, then I think, well, if it is what I'm trying to say, if it is that important, then whatever is tackled in that play should be expanded upon in the show, like in season 5. And so I agree. I hope that they don't just assume we know everything from the play, because I read up on it. But if that's the case, you got to do an official release so that everyone can catch up. That's kind of where I'm at with it. And I think it's cool that they went the stage play route, but I'm also of the opinion they could have made the first Shadow a miniseries, and it would have been stunning, and everyone would have been able to see it. But I get them wanting to go to the stage with it as well. 4 more hours. You're dang right. We're almost there, folks. How do I feel about the time travel theory? I'm kind of out on time travel. If it happens and they make it work and prove me wrong, so be it. But I don't really want time travel to touch Stranger Things. It's kind of how I feel. I do think season 5 will be the best season. I think it'll be a blend of everything, that we love about the show. It'll have the epic scale and reveals of season 4. It'll have the smaller feel of all the characters being in Hawkins of season 1 and season 2. It'll have, the tunnels from season 2 and more of like the lore of the Mind Flayer. And then from season 3, it'll probably just have some of the fun character dynamics. So all around, I think it's just going to blend everything together really, really well. And everyone being in Hawkins is huge to see all the characters interacting in one spot for an entire season again, because they kind of got away from that lately. I think the bridge is the Upside Down itself. Could be. I also think it'd be really cool if it was like referring to, because we see that explosion in the sky in the trailer emanating from Hawkins' lab. What if that actually is the bridge? I mean, there's so many theories there, and we'll be able to obviously have more theories after we see the first 4 episodes tonight, but it'll be fun to dig into theories for Vol 2 for sure. All right. Let's see. How many likes did we end up getting on the stream? I think it's almost time for trivia. Let me look this up real quick. Okay, let's see. We're currently at 1K. Huge. Thank you guys. That's awesome. It's really freaking cool. Thank you guys for doing that. Appreciate y'all. Anyway, the bridge being the upside down itself would be cool. I think that Camazotz is, and the bridge is some sort of method of transportation back, or some plane of existence. I think they're going to get crazy. What if the bridge is that wall? They might get crazy, guys. They might. Oh, man. All right. What spinoffs do you think they will do, if any? Also, I won't get to see season 5 till 6. Oh, please stay safe from spoilers out there. They're going to be everywhere. So I've always had this as my pitch for a spinoff, and it's not going to happen because they kind of tackled it in the first Shadow Play, but I would love to see Hawkins in the 50s with young Hopper, young Joyce, young Bob. That's all tackled in the first Shadow Play. I still think there's room for them to do a TV show adaptation of that. But that's what I always wanted to see. I just don't know if I'd have the Stranger Things elements. Basically, the first Shadow Play is a spinoff. It should have just been a season of a show, in my opinion, on top of a play. They could have done both. Maybe they still can. That's the perfect spinoff material, in my opinion, though. It really is. We have Cam joining.
I gotta bring in my bench.
Bring in the bench. Here's a super chat for you. What do you think of? Do you think we see Max? What do you think we see of Max tonight?
I see Max every night in my dreams.
I think Max. I've said this and I stand by it. I think we're going to see her in her own mind or Vecna's mind. I think there's going to be some sort of mental plotline comparable to what we saw with 11 in the freaking Nina project, where it's like she's there, but she's not physically there. Does that make sense? I think we're going to see Max in the mindscape of Vecna. This super chat says, need help? No. Super chat says, my top 5 characters are Hopper, Elle, Dustin, Jonathan, and Steve. Sounds like your 4 and 5 are going to have a lot of fun times together this season. Jonathan and Steve seem to be a new duo. Pretty cool stuff.
Do I need to give my top 5?
This person, yeah, go for it.
Oh, I didn't know if we were just sharing that or what.
Go for it.
Max, Eddie, rest in peace, Lucas, Dustin, and Steve.
There's Cam's 5. Okay. This is a really good point. Super chat here says something that's not been picked up, in my opinion, is Dustin and Max have similar traumas. They both lost a brother figure in their lives. Does that make Dustin a potential target of Vecna? Yeah. I think that the moment of, the embrace between Steve and Dustin could be after a potentially traumatic experience where Vecna is maybe preying on Dustin, because they do share similar trauma. And I think that's something that will certainly be explored in this season, which is quite fascinating, in my opinion. Do you agree that there's something there with Dustin's trauma?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. So we have trivia. We can fire that up at some point, but there's also a lot of super chats and questions to get through. So I'm thinking after we get
everybody ask me questions.
Yeah, fire off your questions for both of us, and we'll get down to just for Cam.
Just for me.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. Super chat from Tess again says, this is the Charles and Diana wedding MASH finale, etc. of this generation. Thanks for keeping our imaginations flowing but organized. Yeah, it's we're talking about how this is like the end of our, like, this is the show of a generation. And Game of Thrones kind of was that, but also Game of Thrones doesn't appeal to everyone because it's super R-rated. You know what I'm saying? This is like
a lot of episodes.
Yeah. This is the end of the show of a generation, and I can't wait. Tess, thank you for the support, and it's been a hell of a ride, certainly. The super chat says, unpopular opinion, Steve, Jonathan, and Will should die. That would really be devastating to the other characters, the show, and the stakes. Joyce would be left sunless.
That's so messed up.
It would be so dark. I think that would be too dark. That would be crossing the line.
That'd be a lot.
That would be crossing the line. That would be, you want to talk about bold swings? That would be maybe the boldest swing they could ever take. Could you imagine? Man. I guess Elle would have to live in that scenario, though. She would have a daughter still. Ewan says, where do you believe season 5 will rank among others? I really do believe I said this a second ago. I want your take. I think it's going to blend everything and end up being the best season.
I am a really big fan of season 2. So I don't know where to lie. Like when 4 came out initially, 4 went above season 2 for me, but then after a while 2 surpassed 4 again. So it'll probably start out being at the top, and it could possibly stay there. I don't know, but I have 2 pretty high.
Fair. I think it's going to be right up there in the conversation because I said this earlier. I'll say it again. It's going to have the epic scale and moments and emotions and reveals of season 4. It'll have the sort of nostalgic feel of everyone being together in Hawkins of season 1 and 2. And then it'll have some of the fun character dynamics of season 3. So I think it's going to blend the best of all the seasons.
I think season 5 is going to elevate seasons 2 and 4.
Agreed. I agree. Season 1 for nostalgia, 3 for vibe, 4 for story. What about 2?
And season 2 for good plot and good story.
Yeah.
And good development.
Is Max's condition linked to Vecna's life? In a sense, does this mean, does Vecna living or dying dictate whether Max lives or dies because of their connection?
I think maybe I would like to think it's opposite. Maybe if they kill Vecna, they free Max.
I think Max is going to be living in a way in Vecna's mind.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be so cool to see. So cool to see. Thank you for the super chat. Cobra Kai Hawk with another big super chat. Thank you so much. Do you think that Jonathan is going to shine this season? He used to be top 3 characters for me back in season 1, and it was because his brother was missing and you could feel that he cared about his brother and was trying to find him. Yes, I think Jonathan is going to return to, in my opinion, his best form, which is season 2. I think season 2 Jonathan is the peak of that character.
I really hope he does. I love Jonathan, and I really feel like not so much season 3, but definitely season 4. I genuinely feel like the Duffer brothers didn't care about writing his character at all. So I hope they do get back to giving him good character moments and making him a good character again. Because I like him a lot. So I hope so.
I agree. I think that there's an opportunity to have a fun dynamic with him and Steve.
I think that Jonathan was how he is for seasons 1 and 2 for the entire show. He might be in my top 5. But they stopped caring about him. So
I hope he has a return to form because he was definitely sidelined in 3, the back half of 3, and in 4 he's at his lowest for most of the season. And so, I hope so. I think we're going to see him caring for Will. We're going to see a fun dynamic again with Steve. That's untapped potential right there. The two of them riffing off one another. I think there's going to be a lot of fun moments with those. So fair. I think Jonathan, he's solid in season 1. Goes up in 2, down in 3, way down in 4. So hopefully it's a way back up on the graph.
Charlie Heaton and Winona Ryder are in a scene together. I think it's electric. The scenes of the two of them in season 1, when he's planning Will's funeral and Joyce is going crazy because she thinks Will is alive, those are some of the best scenes, are underrated scenes, at least in the whole show. They're just so good together. So I'm excited for them to actually be together again because they really weren't together at all season 3 or season 4. We haven't seen them together since season 2.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. But thank you for the super chats. You've crushed it, Cobra Kai Hawk. Thank you. We got 3.5 hours to go. Now only almost just 3 hours to go.
I'm hungry and I want to eat well before 8 o'clock.
Yeah, I probably won't stream all the way up until 8.
Oh.
I don't think so. Just because I don't know. I can't decide. But
guys, let Chris know if you want him to keep streaming.
Yeah.
At least until 7:30, so you can have 30 minutes to unwind and stuff.
I'll get very close. Yeah, to the time. Kevin's in here. Shout out, Kevin. Dude, I'm ready, man. I'm ready. And we have something cooking for later, me and Kevin. So stay tuned for that. Marvin is in here. Thank you, Marvin, for the super chat. Super chat here says, imagine Will wakes up and it was all a dream. I would honestly not be a fan of that. I think the same can be said for the theory of, again, this has been brought up in a few super chats, the theory of, oh, it was all a campaign, or Will saying it was all a dream. I think that's such a bad, lazy way to end any show. They're charging in the outlet in the bathroom. But yeah, I just think that's a lazy way to do it. And it would actually take away from every meaningful moment of the show. It would massacre the show, in my opinion, truly. Theory here says, or super chat here says, theories about how Lucas will get out of the tunnel with Demogorgons after him. I have one.
What?
Hadn't thought of it until I was on the phone with my friend Jacob, and I literally thought of it, and I told him today.
Wait, can I give you my idea and tell me if you think it's the same one Jacob had?
I thought of it and told it to him.
You thought of it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can I tell you what I think?
Yep.
Let's see if we have the same brain. I think it'll be something similar to in season 2 when the Demodogs are in the tunnels and they get called to somewhere else. They're about to kill the group or something, and then they get pulled away back to the lab, I'm pretty sure. So I think that's gonna kind of be what's gonna happen in a way.
Yep.
Maybe that scene is happening right before all the Demogorgons are jumping out of the ground near the library. And so they're about to get Lucas, but then Vecna wants them at the library, so they leave.
Okay, fair. My take is that we see Steve, Justin, Jonathan, and Nancy hauling ass in a car into what looks like a tunnel, potentially, right? Through that little silo.
A gate, yeah.
A gate that goes into the tunnels, or just, we don't know, because they're freaking burning up over. Yeah, I think they're going to run it over. I think that would be sick.
I just don't like how much Lucas is in peril in the trailers.
Not a fan. So I answered this one already a couple times, so you get to take the wheel here. Do you think Callie will return?
No.
I agree. And go ahead.
I think she can be mentioned, and I think there can be callbacks to her, but I think they really, if you rewatch 11's storyline in season 2, and then you rewatch 11's storyline in season 4, they rehash a lot of the same plot points that they do with the Lost Sister. They just do it better, obviously, because Vecna is better as a whole. But the whole like Vecna telling 11 to use a memory that like makes her angry or makes her upset to strengthen her powers, like that's bar for bar what happens with Callie. So I don't think it's necessary for her to come back. But maybe she'll be mentioned. Yeah,
I think that it would just be repetitive, and also to me, I really do view their storyline as over. I think that it's done. Like she served her purpose for Elle's arc. So no, I don't think so. I'm glad you do other content besides Stranger Things. Are you looking forward to Wednesday season 3? I am.
Did they cast it? They cast somebody in season 3?
Yep, they did. They cast Aunt Ophelia. Eva Green, who's who's the Bond girl from Casino Royale, was cast. And I never made a short about that. I meant to. But Aunt Ophelia has been cast, so it's not going to be Lady Gaga, who was Rosaline Rotwood, who we thought maybe could somehow be retconned to have been her. That's not going to be the case. So yeah, I'll cover Wednesday season 3. I covered a lot of Wednesday season 2. I'll cover Wednesday season 3 as well. So if you like Wednesday or other Netflix shows, stick around, to quote Arnold from Predator. What if Kamazoth is referring to a Queen Demobat? It'd be freaking Aliens, and I'd be here for the Aliens reference. And Aliens came out in, I want to say 86. So there's a world where they could go full Aliens with it. I'd be okay with that, honestly. What do you think Kamazoth refers to?
I don't know. It just sounds like every time I hear Kamazoth, I think of Camelot. That's where my brain goes immediately. So I immediately just think of like the Round Table.
Yeah.
And like
King Arthur.
Lancelot and stuff like that. Yep. Which, now that I think about it, we do have a shot of them all standing around a table. It's not round, but... And
they look like knights when they're dressed up in the painting.
Yeah, when I hear Kamazots, I just think of Camelot. So I don't really have an answer to
that. Jayco with the super chat says, my daughter was 3 when we started watching. We are stoked. Let's go. Appreciate the content and counting down with all the fans. Thank you for being here. Love the Hellfire Club profile pic. Is your daughter scarred from the Demogorgon?
Watching that at the age of 3 is kind of... is intense.
Yeah. How did she handle the Demogorgon? That's what I have to know. But no, it's been a thrill. And yeah, I can't wait. We'll only have about 3 hours to go now, which is crazy. Robin brought something new and fresh to the show. Absolutely. Much needed burst of energy in season 3. Her dynamic immediately with Steve and Dustin worked.
Could you imagine season 3 if Robin wasn't there?
It'd be interesting. It'd be
way worse.
Yeah. Do you think the Mind Flayer is still the real villain?
TBD.
TBD. It's a good answer.
To be determined.
To be determined.
Ask me after volume 1.
Mm-hmm. I think that something serious is going to be revealed with the Mind Flayer controlling, but only time will tell. Love her channel. I didn't like the Lost Sister episode, but if Callie does come back, do you think Vecna will kill her to obtain her power to alter reality?
Well, Vecna kind of already has that power, I feel like.
Certainly. I mean, they share similar power set, if not the same. So I was thinking, people brought this up in the stream, but also in recent videos I've done on this channel and with Starcourt podcast. What if he does come back and kills her in a cold open just to like tie it up? And they're literally like, they're acknowledging their wrongdoing. I don't think she
needs to die.
I think they can just...
the episode sucked doesn't mean she needs to die.
I think they could just let her be.
Yeah, I don't think you should bring her back at all.
Fair. I am so not ready. It's gonna be an emotional roller coaster. Do you think anyone dies today? Anyone? It could be anyone.
Absolutely. Like any character, like any character, any random guard. Yeah, absolutely.
Sir, how about second tier? So we've got our mains. Second tier is gonna be like your Karens, your Teds, your Dr. Owens, your Mr. Clark type characters.
I do think it's possible Ted could die.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like that's really about it.
Okay.
I don't think they're gonna do too much of like our main character or B tier character killings in the first volume.
Mm-hmm.
I think bodies will drop, but I think it will all be like army people and stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Nerd Engage with the super chat here. It says, what if the bridge, like you said, is the wall, but made with failed attempts of Russians and lab workers' bodies trying to get through? It'd be grisly. It would embrace the season 3 body horror stuff that we see with like the flayed melting, because it gets pretty gnarly there in season 3 for a bit. Was that Indy?
That was me.
No, I thought I heard something.
No,
I literally thought I heard Indy scratching.
I took my hand off the stool.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Gnarly.
Yeah, gnarly, grisly, whatever you wanna call it.
What I'm doing when I do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's cat's eye, right?
Yes.
Do you think the Russians are going to be mentioned that much?
Guys,
either you're anti the Russian storyline.
I'm sick of the Russians.
Mm-hmm.
Sick of the commies.
Mm-hmm.
Get them out of my TV show.
Yeah, there you go. I am interested to see about the bridge. This super chat here says, I think time is stuck in the upside down. It is. The day Will goes missing, so Will knows everything till the end. He just forgot he has seen Vecna dying. It'd be interesting. So you're saying Will has seen the future, essentially?
Interesting.
Yeah. Will the wise? You never know. I do wonder if they'll explain why time is frozen on that day. Do you think
they have to? Yeah.
That's like a really like
they
a
definitely
must
have to explain
answer.
whether or not it's because of Will going missing or because of 11 opening the gate.
Yeah.
I can click on that. I can answer. We are going to be in LA in about a week-ish.
That's
right?
correct. Yeah.
So we're gonna see them when we're out there for sure. I don't know if we're gonna film anything with them, but we're definitely gonna hang out with them because they're my friends.
Mm-hmm.
But I would love to, because I actually agree with a lot of Alex's takes on the show. I think Alex really, really surprised me. Some of his takes I think are also not so great. You haven't really watched their episodes or seen him talk about it, but I have. Some of his takes I think are not so great, but some of them, like he has a pretty surprisingly like good understanding of like what's going on with like certain characters or like certain things in the show. That shocked me because it was just his first time watching it. So I think it'd be really interesting. I mean, we're already off to a good start. He doesn't think season 2 is the worst season. So I won. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's all I wanted from him.
Fair.
So it'd be interesting.
That's great. Yeah. Could Holly be in Vecna's mind and run into Max? I think so. And I'll tell you why. I've fully convinced myself Max has to be in volume 1. She's not. Sadie Sink's not going to be out of commission for 4 episodes of a TV show. It'd be a waste of talent, of future Oscar-winning talent, mind you. So to me, she's going to be involved, and I think she's going to be in Vecna's mind. And we know if say Holly goes vanishing in the second ep, what would that mean? Well, they might run into each other. So I like that. I could definitely see that happening. Definitely a possibility here, guys. It's Johnny says, I think Lucas's death would be the most painful ever. It would be in contention for the most painful death ever.
Who?
Lucas dying.
Oh my god.
Especially after having waited for Max all that time.
That would be the worst for me, I think, so far.
Oof. It would be the worst for everyone. I think that would really hurt.
It would also just
there hasn't been death of that caliber.
It would just be messed up. Like, what is the reason?
Yeah, I agree. Stranger Things. I read SW Star Wars being an inspiration for season 4 with Empire Strikes Back. Did they turn Henry back like Vader had to turn against the bigger bad, the Mind Flayer? So this came up in the stream earlier, actually.
I think it's very possible.
Yeah, Tess asked, do I think they could do like a Vader-esque redemption? And I think there's certainly a case for it. I think that, and I wouldn't hate it. I wouldn't. I think Vecna's certainly evil, but if he could find some ounce of humanity in him to fight off the greater evil one last time and then go out, I'd be okay with it.
I think Vecna is evil. I'm not sold on Henry Creel being evil, especially if you bring all the play lore into it and what really made young Henry Creel turn into the spooky.
It's straight up Anakin. It's Anakin. It's also every character
it's
in
Anakin,
fiction that's corrupted.
Anakin accidentally got transferred to another dimension that changed his blood and made him evil.
There you go.
But before that, I think Henry Creel was a normal kid. So it's like, if we could revert him back to that, I think it's very possible to not redeem Vecna, but also you don't redeem Darth Vader either. You know what I mean? You just give him a full circle moment, which is not necessarily the same as redemption. If that makes sense.
Fair enough. What about this? Vecna controls Max and makes her try to kill Erica. Lucas has to kill her to stop it, but hesitates, so he does it late, and they both die.
Oh my god, you guys!
That's some Shakespearean evil sadness right there. That would be just the darkest. I mean, could you imagine that?
That's messed up.
Yeah, that's straight up evil. That would hurt, and I think be frankly, unsatisfying. I'll say it. It would be unsatisfying. Isaiah's everything with the super chat here says, do you think Vecna could stop and get some lotion when he invades Hawkins? He might need it. Cobra Kai Hawk, another super chat here says, what shows are going to carry Netflix now? I love this question. Now their biggest shows are ending and have ended. Stranger Things, Cobra Kai, Outer Banks ends next year. You've got the end of Squid Game. So what is going to carry? I think they're putting. I'm telling you right now, they've seemingly gone all in on this One Piece show. Like they've already started marketing that crap, and it comes out, and that's gonna be a big one. A live action Avatar.
I promise you, they'll probably adapt Korra.
Probably Wednesday is going to be huge for them if they can continue making seasons. I know they're doing a third, but here's where the conversation really starts. They're not going to just let those properties die. We're getting spinoffs for all of them.
But I also think they that cannot last them for so long, especially so long as Netflix and all streaming services continue to up their prices,
right?
Like they have been.
Right.
I think Netflix does need to start exploring doing original shows again, because that's how you got Stranger Things in the first place. You know what I mean? Like you can get your next Stranger Things. You just have to. Hey, all they gotta do is pick up My Lady Jane from Amazon Prime. That canceled season 2.
Yeah,
and I'm sold.
So I think what they're going to do next year, for starters, Outer Banks is ending. They'll try and do at least 4 or 5 seasons of Wednesday, in my opinion. So that's going to be a big one.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I know. One Piece, I think they're going to do tons of seasons of. There's like 1,000 episodes of the anime. Yeah. I think that we're going to get a Cobra Kai spinoff. I think we're going to get a Stranger Things spinoff announced. And I think we'll probably just continue getting, like, we might get a Squid Game US spinoff. That's coming soon. So those are 3 spinoffs. I think the Squid Game one is going to do well. And frankly, I'm excited. I'm excited. Don't care. I know that was like, people hated the end of that. I was here for it, and Fincher being involved, like that excites me. I'll say it. So there's a lot of possibilities here. I think they're going to be just fine. Honestly, they'll find another show. Like there's going to be another phenomenon. There always is.
Ooh, click the next one.
Quick off-topic question. Keep watch burn. DComs, Teen Beach Movie, Lemonade Mouth, and Camp Rock 2.
You
Gavin,
can answer this now.
I can't. Gavin always brings the heat. By the way,
I've made him watch a lot of DComs that I really like. And he's now seen Teen Beach Movie, and he's now seen Lemonade Mouth.
I'm keeping Lemonade Mouth.
Correct.
Yeah, Lemonade Mouth has bangers. I'm watching Teen Beach Movie, and I haven't fully seen Camp Rock 2.
Oh.
I just realized. So
doesn't matter. I think that's the right answer.
Okay.
Teen Beach Movie has certified bangers in it to the point where that is worth the watch. Now, if it was Camp Rock 1, we might be having a different conversation right now, but it's Camp Rock 2. And I mean, Camp Rock 2 is great. Like, I have fun with it.
The Final Jam.
The Final Jam's not that good, though. Like, the songs they picked aren't that good. The best songs in Camp Rock 2 are towards the beginning. And that's about it.
Seems like Escape Pod guy, I'm assuming this is Andrew, implied that someone bites the dust in Volume 1.
That would be Andrew.
Because he's seen it, right?
He saw episode 1.
All I know is people who've seen it were like,
what? Yeah,
everyone's like bodies drop. Like,
yeah.
To me, I don't know what they're talking about. To me, I interpret that as like, okay, we know there's going to be soldier deaths galore. There's going to be civilians of Hawkins killed. So I don't care for that being a reaction that people are saying personally, because I think it's like some things need to be concealed. But
I read it as military people die.
I do too.
I think Andrew. I'm pretty decent friends with Andrew. I'd say I talk to Andrew almost every day, at least once a week. I think he would have more heavily implied with me if someone more significant died, and I don't feel like he did. So I don't think it's that big of a deal.
Yeah, we'll find out in hours. Only a few hours, baby.
We're gonna find out on our own.
It will be 2 a.m. here in Norway when Volume 1 drops. I have work at 9 a.m., but I'm considering staying up and just chugging energy drinks to get through my shift. What to do? That's what you do. That's what you do. You have to watch it when it drops. Once in a lifetime opportunity to watch it right when it drops. And honestly, you get 2 or 3 hours of sleep, or just don't sleep at all for one night. You'll be fine.
Not too many energy drinks, though.
Not too many.
Don't hurt your heart.
Yeah, maybe just stick to Diet Dr. Pepper or one energy drink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly,
5 hours.
Even if it comes out super late, like for you, I know it sucks, but like if you don't watch it when it drops, you will be spoiled for whatever happens. Like 4 hours after it drops, like people won't be able to keep their mouth shut. Which I mean, I can't blame them. I normally can't really keep my mouth shut either. I'm just saying for your sake, if you care about spoilers, like you need to know that if you don't watch it when it drops, you will probably get spoiled. Yep.
But hey, I was saying it's like I was telling people because they're like, oh, it drops at 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m. I was like, I'm sorry for those that it drops at 3 a.m. because that's the worst time, I think, on the clock for anything to drop.
We paid our dues for that.
Yeah. Because even if it dropping at 8, we'll be done watching at 12:30.
Yeah.
If it dropped at like 3 a.m., you can't go to sleep really before and you can't wake up early and start your day. Like if it dropped at 5 a.m., you can just go to sleep normal the night before, wake up and start your day early. But 3 a.m. or 2 a.m. even sucks. So I'm sorry to all those who have that. David with the super chat here. And then we're caught up on the super chats and we're actually going to fire off a trivia game. So get your we're doing a Blook It, I think it's called. I made some trivia. Says, I doubt either character comes back, but who do you think has a higher chance of coming back? Lonnie? I just found out he has ties with the first shadow. Crazy, right? Or 8. I think Lonnie has a higher chance of coming back because Lonnie would maybe show up for a Will or Jonathan funeral. Hey, Indy.
He's sleepy.
Look at our kitty cat. There he is. He's a good boy. Who would have a higher chance, Lonnie or 8? I think Lonnie. Lonnie, yeah. Because there's potential to tie something up there with him and the relationship with his sons. There ain't no reason for 8 to come back. He's up now. He's activated. He's overwhelmed. But we are, let's see. We got another super chat from Nerds Engaged. Thank you. Love that. Thank you. The little peace emoji. Thanks.
And that's us because we're nerds and we're engaged.
That is true.
That's crazy.
You cooked. Nerds Engaged. Thanks for all the content. Can't believe we're here. Take some time before to eat, prepare, and experience the final opening and season we'll ever have. Yeah, I don't think I'm going right up to 8 o'clock. I'll probably go to like, we'll see. We'll feel the vibes. This is a vibe stream. We'll see the vibes. No, yeah, we have to eat before. So like, we'll figure it out. But we have time to figure it out. But no, thank you for the super chat. And it's gonna be a late night. But it's gonna be a fun night. So I want to do some trivia. If you would, yeah, I'm gonna see if I can run it on my phone. I tested it the other day. I think I can.
Can I look at live chat while you do that?
You can. So go to Blook It, or maybe I have to share a link. Hold on. I need to log in. Let's see. Logging into Blook It, which I don't even know if I have the info saved. Let me log into a tab real quick, just to do this real quick.
Thank you.
So get ready for some trivia. Let's do. Is this gonna ruin the stream? No, we're good. It's gonna ruin the tour. Blook It. All right, let's do this thing. To my knowledge, I should be able to host, and I should be able to go to classic match and host. And it looks like I can only get up to 60 people in here, but we're just going to do it anyway. So you got to be quick. Does this look good? Solo, random. I don't want late joining. I don't even know what that means. And sure, why not? Let's host. Ooh, it's yapping. How do I mute it?
Just mute your computer.
Oh, cool. Can you guys hear any noise from the Blook It in the chat? Let me know. And then I'm going to share the info to join. But let me know. Let me know if you can hear any like background music right now. And then we're doing a Blook It because you guys put me on.
No, they can't.
Okay, cool. We're doing trivia, and I put them together, and some of them are frankly layups, and they're probably all layups to you guys. You guys are great, but let's do this thing. So here's how it's going to work. This is the ID. I guess I can copy this. Copy join
link. Say it out loud, and people can type it in.
Or I'll just do this right here. I love to hit things dramatically. I just put the link in the chat. Go join. I think up to 60 people can join, so you got to be fast. But good luck. May the odds be ever in your favor. Let's see if anyone joins on my end. Let's see. Oh God, we got people flying in. Look at that. Let's see if it caps out at 60. It did. It capped out at 60. Congratulations to the 60 who were chosen.
That's crazy. That was so fast.
That was so fast. We're beginning. I would love to share screen, but I'm just going to read them instead. I think that's probably the way to go. Do you agree?
Yeah. And so if he's going to read the questions out loud, and if you didn't make it into the 60 people,
yes,
you can just type it in chat.
Yep. This was better than the Quizlet option, but we're starting. Let's begin. 3, 2, 1. The first question is, what is the longest episode of Stranger Things?
Ooh, I know. Me. What am I allowed to answer?
What do you think? I don't know.
Well, keep it up so I can see until all the people have answered on the computer. Like, pull up the tab. Okay, I think I can go ahead and get my answer.
Most people have answered, and that's the time limit. Okay.
The piggyback.
So so those were the correct answers. I had it. It was a type. It was a type in one. And so
cool.
I did that.
Read out the leaderboard.
Okay, Caden's cut is 1, Murray's booze, Logan, JM, and that's the standings. Now we're going on to the next question. This is fun for me. The next question is, what is the name of Hopper's daughter who sadly passed away? And you have to type it in. You have to type in the answer for some of these. Because I didn't want to make them all layups. There are a lot of multiple choice on here. And I accept 2 spellings of the name because I know some people spell it one
really
way.
Nice of you, actually.
Yeah.
Is that better?
It looks like most got it right. The name of Hopper's daughter who sadly passed away is Sarah. Some of these are harder, I promise.
Fun fact, speaking of the escape pod, that's one of my favorite clips ever. Here, read the leaderboard. I have it.
Murray's booze, Caden's cut, D'Artagnan, and Xander, and then it went away. All right, we're going to the next question now. Who is the Hawkins Police Department secretary? I accept 2 spellings of this name.
This is one of my favorite clips, maybe ever. I think it's so funny.
Hopper's daughter, Sarah.
Cancer.
Correct.
I think that's the funniest thing ever to me, personally. You can hit pause on that thing, by the way, if you feel like it's going too fast.
No, I think we're doing good. Murray's booze is still dominating. You got Gavin, Harold, Aiden, and Noah Z. That's the leaderboard. All right, where the next question is, what date is Will Byers' birthday?
Byers is.
Yeah, I don't know why that is there, but
no, I mean that's the correct spelling.
Okay, cool. Then I did right.
Yeah, no, you did it right.
I did it right.
I just hate last names that's end with an S.
Okay, most people got that one right. It was a multiple choice option, so it went faster there. March 22nd. K is in the lead. It looks like, or maybe not. I think.
Yeah, K's in the lead.
No, so that's who won the question, and then it goes to the leaderboard. So Harold is in first. Harold is in first.
I kind of like that.
Yeah. What is the name of the squirrel in Eleven's presentation in season 4? This one was asked in a recent stream that I did trivia for. And let's see how many of you guys can get it right.
They're answering it fast.
They're answering fast. I like this Bookit thing. This is like the upgraded Quizlet in my mind. Quizlet, or no, Kahoot. Mm-hmm. Most got that right. It was Mr. Fibley. Mr. Fibley. Very nice, very nice. The next trivia question, after we see who the leaderboard here, it looks like the leaderboard is Harold, Gavin, Noah Z, Aiden, and Caden's cut.
Caden's making his way back up there.
All right, we've got in season 2, episode 8, the Mind Flayer. What brand of ammonia is used to wake Will up?
And he jumped on his cat tree.
This is a tough one. I gave 2 correct answers. So Bo Peep is what it says, but I also found that Little Bo Peep is what the brand turned into. And so I put that there as well as like you get it if you got both. But Bo Peep is what it says on the bottle in the screenshot.
Caden's at the top.
Caden's at the top.
Come on now, Caden.
Next question. What is Bob Newby's nickname? Multiple choice.
I know. Pick me.
The answer, of course, is... We'll find out in a moment once it all goes. But we know. The answer is... Bob the Brain. Bob the Brain. Most got that one right. I just had to think of other crap to fill out the multiple choice when I made this. I was like, what is a decent...
You said Bobby.
Bobby. Yeah. Very cool, very cool. All right. Next question. What flavor Slurpee does Alexei Smirnoff request?
The only good flavor.
Pretty easy layup here, I'd figure, for you guys, right?
Ooh, sorry.
Pretty easy little layup here for you guys. Should be. Looks like most of you got it right. Cherry. Had to be cherry. All right. The next question is going to load in a second. Let me take a sip of water. We got a tight race up top, a 3-point difference between Aiden and Caden. Okay. What names do Robin and Nancy use when they go undercover to Pennhurst in order to interview Victor Creel?
I know. them?
You have to type them this time. There's no choices. Get to typing. The typing ones are scary. The typing ones are intense.
One of the names
We have the Funko Pops over there.
is a place in Nevada.
Okay, yeah. So Ruth and Rose, and I accepted Ruth and Rose or Ruth Rose. That was a tougher one intentionally. Some of them are supposed to be tough with the typing because it's just about speed there. But Aiden is in the lead now.
Ooh.
Yeah. What is the name of Dustin Henderson's mom?
I know.
I do too.
A good question should be what did you ask the name of the cat?
I asked a fun, don't say anything, because I asked a fun cat related question.
I think you know what I mean when I asked that question.
Yeah. Claudia. Will Claudia die? Could you imagine if Claudia died?
That'd be sad.
Yeah.
That's Dustin's only parent.
That would be tragic for sure.
You can't. Same reason. That's like you also can't kill Joyce. That's
No,
fucked.
yeah. For those joining the chat right now, we're doing trivia, and we're in the middle of a game. I created a booklet, and only 60 people could join. But here we go. What time does Hopper tell Eleven that he will be home on Halloween?
I know.
Do you? Mm-mm.
5.
Well, hold on. 5, 4. Yeah. No. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
He comes back, I think, at 8.
Yeah. See, the type ones are hard because it's like you gotta. But I accepted a bunch of different variations.
Yeah, that's good of you.
But there you go. I feel like the type ones I would hate if I was in like school and I had the pressure to do the type.
Goodness.
That would not work well for me. Okay. Here we go. Next question here. What date is Billy's birthday? Hint, we see it on his tombstone.
Oh, hell. I know when he dies.
This is a tough one. I'm not going to lie. Unless there's some hardcore Billy fans out there.
Am I right?
Mm-mm.
Damn. Wait. Damn.
No, I'm just kidding. It is that one.
Really?
Yeah.
Period.
It's that one. That was a toughie. Look at the spread there. It looks like it was like 21%.
That messed up the leaderboard.
I'm always curious to see. That was the fun of Quizlet. Or not, god dang it. Kahoot. Caden is taking the lead. I like these usernames, by the way. Murray's Booze. That's funny. The town of Hawkins is located in what county?
Oh, I know.
Yep.
My
Click,
cartographers know
click.
it.
Shout out to the Cartography Club. If you know, you know. Well, wait, there's a couple super chats here. This one here, it says, Cam, would you bring back Eddie or wake up or have a healthy Max?
I can't answer that question.
Healthy Max for me. Eddie's arc has come to an end.
That's hard for me to answer because like I don't know where Max is going to end up if I pick Eddie. You know what I mean? Like Max could come back and be a little disabled but still live and she'd be fine. You know what I mean?
That's true.
I could get the best of both worlds.
All right, next question.
After the show.
Next question's a layup. It's what date does Will Byers go missing on? It's the easiest one I put on here.
I know.
And then we'll hop right back into the chat after we finish this trivia, so don't you worry. We have a super sticker here. Thank you. A couple super stickers. This question says, what if one of the bullies from season 1 comes back? Troy comes back. Could you imagine? He had to repeat himself. He definitely, I don't know what he looks like now, but yeah, everyone seemed to get that trivia question right. It was November 6, 1983. I'm interested to see, though, if Troy makes a return or not. Troy!
I don't think they need it. They have all the...
Caden's still in the lead, by the way. And then we'll get to this super chat as this question is read. Well, who is the mayor of Hawkins in season 3? You got to type your answer for this one. We know the actor. Dr. Lawrence Gordon now. Super chatter from Isaiah's Everything says some potential stranding spinoffs I've thought of. What do you think? Hawkins Lab spinoff origin, Kali and crew, Yuri and Dimitri, Stephen Dustin, Susie, do you copy, and a theatrical movie ? I think of all those, I probably would want maybe the lab back in the day. By the way, the answer was Mayor Larry Klein.
Oh yeah, I'd love to see the lab like during the 70s.
Yeah.
With, like the 50s to the 70s with
Yes.
MK Ultra and a young Brenner doing all that.
Yeah. That might be the most interesting of those potential prospects.
I would prefer though if they cast somebody who's not Matthew Modine to play young Brenner, even though I know that in those flashbacks Brenner looks the same.
And real quick, what book is Lucas reading to Max in the hospital during the season 4 epilogue? That's the next trivia question.
Anyways, I know that in the flashbacks, Dr. Brenner is obviously played by Matthew Modine, but now he's just like a little old to the point where I'd be fine using my brain and just accepting that they cast somebody else that kind of looks like him. Maybe
the answer was the Talisman. For those wondering, Aiden has reclaimed the lead. We have a fight right now in our leaderboard.
Fight.
The next question is, what number is Jason's basketball jersey?
Is it that? Or is that?
You'll
Is
have
it
to
that?
wait and find out.
Well, I know it's not that.
Pretty sure it's this, from when I put it in. And I had this one, and these were questions. A lot of these are questions I asked you on the podcast a while ago.
Wow.
I just was like, I gotta ask again. Yeah,
There you go.
there you go. Just number 12.
Close.
Number 12. To answer this, I would love to see it. Yeah, the Hawkins Lab origin. I don't think there's anything with a Susie to copy unless it's like a 1 episode spinoff, like a epilogue type thing. But it'll be interesting to see, obviously, you know, what they end up doing with the spinoff, because they clearly know it's going to be something. Dustin's mom gets a new cat to replace Muse at the end of season 2. What is the cat's name? You have to type your answer for this one. Yeah, it's a tricky one. I'm not going to lie. It's a trickier one.
Did you accept multiple spellings?
I don't remember. Will I binge it as soon as it comes out? Absolutely. At 8 o'clock tonight, which is coming up in about 2.5 hours roughly, I will be binging immediately. Mark with the super chat says, what do you think running up that hill, or do you think running up that hill / Kate Bush will play a part in reviving Max from a coma? We know when Lucas is running around, he has,
I feel like they're just
you know,
playing
stereo.
it nonstop on a loop.
They probably will just have it on. Why not? By the way, the answer was TEWS, T-E-W-S. What password does Dustin give Susie so that she can hack in and change his grade?
I know.
Yeah, type your answer for that one if you're in the Blookit. And then regarding the super chat here, I think we're going to hear it. Yes, I think we're going to hear it. You have to, right? It became such a moment, such an iconic thing that you feel like you have to. Yeah, the answer was Tigers 86, for those wondering. Tigers 86 was the answer to that question. We only have about 10 left on the trivia. Who is in the lead now is the real question. We've got Caden by a point over Aiden.
Ooh.
Wild. All right, next question on the trivia game is Dustin asks to dance with the girl at the snowball, but he gets rejected. What is her name? That is correct, Kim. Look at you go. All right, in the chat over here, we have a couple other super chats. New layout after this, new Kahoot after this, potentially. I only prepped one, though. Thank you for the super sticker. And then this super chat here says, unlikely, but what if 11 and Joyce die and now Hopper finishes raising the boys? I don't want the man to go through all that. Could you imagine how much trauma that would be?
Up.
I would be sick to my stomach.
I don't think Hopper would want to take care of Will and Jonathan.
Oh, yeah. That would be sickening. Would Lonnie be involved? I don't know. What cartoon is Alexi / me off watching on the TV at Murray's? I never get this right every time I'm asked it. And so I put it on here because I need to burn it into my brain. I was on Jenks Yomi Soda, Jenks, his show, and I was asked this, and I just blanked. And so I had to put it on here. Woody Woodpecker, and I always get it wrong for some reason. But no, to answer your question, your super chat here, Snack2425, that would be just disgusting, honestly. It would hurt my soul, truly. It truly would. What is the password to enter Castle Byers? I accepted 2 spellings here. One of them is the proper spelling. One of them is like the non-proper spelling. But I was like, I figured the pronunciation, I'll give you a little bit of a boost here. But what is the password to enter Castle Byers? The answer was Radagast, spelled Radagast. But I did accept Ratagast because I know that it's pronounced that way sometimes. Caden is maintaining position on the leaderboard. The next question in the trivia is, what is the exact time that Vicky is said to have paused fast times? Put some ones in here that are tricky. Do you think you know it? Yeah. We have a super chat here. It says, rank these characters from the most to least based on chances they are in season 5. Enzo, Yuri, Susie, Angela, Argyle. Okay. So from the most, I think most is going to be Susie. I think Susie's going to show up. Susie.
Then I would say Enzo.
I would go Susie, Argyle. I think Argyle on a phone call or something.
Maybe. But also it could be Enzo on a phone call.
Yeah. I would then put
Argyle.
Enzo and Yuri and Angela at the bottom. No way Angela's coming back.
No way Angela or Yuri, but I don't think Enzo is crazy. I feel like him and Hopper
Fair.
very much bonded in the prison.
Fair. Trivia question is, what song does Eddie play on his guitar in the piggyback to distract the Demobats?
I feel like I'm like
Master of Puppets.
I'm actually nervous about watching new episodes of Stranger Things because this will be the first time watching new episodes without Eddie after being introduced to him. When I went back and rewatched the show after being introduced to Eddie, I was like, I'm actually genuinely missing Eddie's presence here. Like, I can feel it a little bit. So I'm curious if I'm going to feel like that at all.
Yeah.
I'm actually glad they gave me 3 years to get over it.
3
I'm
years
not
to
over
mourn.
it, but they gave me 3 years to heal a little more.
What is the name of Vicky's now ex-boyfriend from season 4?
Damn it.
Yeah.
So close.
I put some similar names in here on purpose. Male names that start with a D. We've got the answer being Dan. Dan is the answer there. All right. I wish that I could have a Kahoot with like everyone who in the chat. That would be nuts, but it didn't work out that way. But we'll figure it out eventually. And then the final few questions here, and then we'll wrap up the trivia and get back into just the chat for a little bit. What is the name of the teacher who would get on to Joyce and Hopper for smoking in high school? Mr. Hall, Mr. Hayes, Mr. Colbert, Mr. Cooper. That is correct, Cam. She's pointing at the screen for those wondering. Looking through the chat here, I love seeing all the answers fly in after we answer. That's awesome. Love the participation. The answer was Mr. Cooper, by the way. I see the chat got that as well. Let's see. All right. 3, 2, 1 for the next question. We have 3 left. Who says the final line of Stranger Things season 4?
I know.
Who says the final line of Stranger Things season 4?
When are we getting food?
Probably relatively soon, but I'll want to end the stream before we get it.
Really?
Yeah.
But would we order it before you end the stream?
Yeah.
Okay.
The answer, Holly. Holly or Holly Wheeler, which in retrospect was probably setting up her to have a bigger role without us even knowing, if that makes sense.
Yeah. They said, let's give this actress one last line before we recast.
That's what they said. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Next question is, in season 4, where does 11 tell Mike they're going for burritos before heading to Rinkomania?
You asked me this.
Yes, I did. I feel like I just recycled a lot of my season 4 one. I went hard on the season 4 in this, but I was like, I might as well, right? Super Chat says, how long do you think you'll be grieving after season 5? I think it'll be a process.
I'm numb at this point.
Just getting over the post-show depression is going to hit. It's going to be brutal. Man, it's going to be brutal. Let's see. 3, 2, 1. Next question is, in season 2, what does Max say her role in the party could be? You know this one, right?
Yeah.
I just made up some crap to fill out the other answers. Zoomer.
Rogue is what?
Yeah, I looked. Some of these other ones are real D&D terms. I looked them up.
Wait, what's Lucas again? Ranger.
Is it like Dustin's our bard, paladin, cleric, some crap like that? They're all something. Who's the guidance counselor at Hawkins High? This is the final question of the trivia.
I know.
That is correct.
Obviously, it's Claudia.
Yeah. Let's see if the participants got it, and then we will announce the winners. And there won't be a prize, but you'll get announced. The answer is Miss Kelly. Miss Kelly. So the final results of the final standings: Gavin in 3rd, Aiden in 2nd, and Caden is the winner with a score of 1061. So there you go. Shout out, you guys. Thank you for joining the Blook-It. Thought that would be a fun little thing to do, just to kind of, do something in the world of trivia instead of just answering questions the entire time. So there you go. Trivia. Boom. We're done. We got about 2 hours 25 minutes. Is that correct? 2 hours, 25 minutes to go. Don't think I'm going to be streaming the whole time leading up to it, but we'll find out. 2.5 hours. That's that. Yeah. I'm trying to think how long I want the stream to go because episodes drop at 8. Want to be set up before then.
You want to have time to relax.
Yeah, I'm like, do we call it soon? That's the question.
Maybe. We
may, because we do have to eat.
Yes, and guys, I'm starving.
I'm aware. So we might wrap. We got 2 hour, 35-minute stream in. I will be up all night talking about the show. And so I think that we may call it. That gives everyone who's watching as well, like 2 hours about to, relax, to get ready, to eat, to prep. I think that's what we're going to do. That was a good pregame stream though. And I think we go ahead and call it and we call it and we go our separate ways, dare I say. I think that's what we're going to do. So that's going to do it. I think, I didn't know how long I was going to stream when we got in here, but that's what we're going to do. We're calling it right now. 2 hours, 35 minutes and 2 hours and 20 minutes about to go until the volume. I'm going to go eat, gear up, get everything set up, clear off my, memory cards, all that, so that I can be ready for when these episodes drop. Yeah, definitely got to make some storage room, got to do a little housekeeping stuff. But thank you guys so much if you joined here live or on the replay. Thank you. We only have a few more hours to go, so stay tuned for all the coverage. I'll be reacting to all the episodes, doing a full breakdown, probably have an immediate reaction out tonight, so stay tuned for all that stuff. But thank you guys, as always, for watching, and I will not see you again until after we've seen the first 4 episodes.
We will literally see you on the other side of the Upside Down.
See you on the other side, and this is serious. This is real. Yeah. So see you guys around. Thank you for hanging out in here. I love this community. That was a damn fun stream. And we will be changed, hopefully for good, to quote Wicked. But that's going to do it. Thank you guys. As always, Film Stock merch is on sale now. Link down below. Get you some to celebrate. And until next time, we'll see you on the other side of the Upside Down. And damn it, after Volume 1. Stay safe out there if you're not able to watch live for spoilers. But thank you guys. As always, peace.